I feel it deep flowing through my blood. Rising up to become someone, and taking it all on my own. What a sweet victory. And taking all of my control, awaken something deep in me.
Like flames, feel it burning inside. Take a hold in pursuit of the prize. I've been told ain't no way to survive, keeping all of this fire that's locked up inside. When this is the time, enter the ring. All those mental chemicals doing their thing. I got flashes of battles inside of my dreams. I was made for this moment. At least now it seems like it's time to come face to face with your fear. Been battling reasons for all of the years, and I learned how to fight them with style and grace no one's ever encountered. You say it's amazing, I'ma come out swinging when they open the gate. Go ahead, call passion, I'm calling it rage. I'm taking what's mine like I already own it. Watch but don't blink, going here to the moment.
The sky rain down. Here's to the madness that's all around. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are, you are. Here's to the moment, the sky rain down. Here's to the madness that's all around. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are, you are.
My name is honor, my name is king, my name is champion, my name is strength.
Tell them who you are.
My name is Pentakill, you think it's strange? My name keep ringing inside of your brain.
I hear it every night. Here's to the moment the sky rain down. Here's to the madness that's all around. So tell them who you are, you are, you are. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are. Here's to the moment the sky rain down. Here's to the madness that's all around. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are, you are. Here's to the moment the sky rain down. Here's to the madness that's all around. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are.
You've walked through the darkest nights. You've heard the crowd, felt the blinding light. You were standing there when your heart comes alive. It's a dream of a hat, and it never dies. Right here, right now, give it all to get it out. Never surrender. I fight and never fail. I am a contender. A challenge I can feel. The smallest lies become the brightest enemies. Relentlessly. And even if you fall, you gave it everything to be a king. The smallest lies become the brightest enemies. Relentlessly. And even if you fall, you gave it everything to be a king. find my way, find my way. On my way, on my way. Dream my way, dream my way. Never a surrender. I find it never fail. I'm a contender. And change I can feel. The smallest lies become the brightest enemies. Grenadity. And even if you fall, you gave it everything to be a king. The smallest lies become the brightest enemies. Grenadity. And even if you fall, you gave it everything to be a king.
Turn it back. Gear out a weapon, getting ready, counting down. Pay attention to the challenge, tell me where you from. Gotta be tough, gotta be strong, gotta be savage like animal. Every time you tryna push me down. Look at me, I'll be lying down when I run, and I'll make a sign, I will catch you. Watch out, it's better feel, kind of mercy. Look at me, I'll be rising. Carry the season, you got a damn, gonna weapon. You never hesitate for another moment, but my bone is golden.
I'm invincible, just let him know. I can show you all the glory I own. To the drunk, go find a way to the pad. It's time we go. Never mind, can we go? It ain't a river, tiny bed. Storm is coming, tired of your cold. It's my kingdom, fire growing up.
We the kings, it's our honor showtime. Honor kings,
Yes, we're gonna burn up.
honor kings.
On a killing spree, I told you all this. All my enemies, they go on silence. Wipe them out for only 6 seconds. We got honor.
You wanna get me juice, kind of the one who made the rules. You have night to choose, only one way, got night to lose.
I'm gonna show them. We got no crime. We burn it fast as one. Crash in pieces, you can cheat.
First blood, double trouble, then I take a pen, I kill. All you do is sweat and look at me stay with the rain.
Say.
I've drinking my soda.
For my pace.
We the champions, screaming, I'm invincible. Just let them know. I can show you all the glory I own. To the drunk, go find a way to the pad. It's time we go. Never mind, can we go? It ain't a river, tiny bed. Storm is coming, tired of your cold. It's my kingdom, fire growing up.
We the kings, it's our honor showtime. Honor kings,
Yes, we're gonna burn up.
honor kings.
On a killing spree, I told you all this. All my enemies, they go on silence. Wipe them out for only 6 seconds. We got honor. In this world, only ones in this call out my name, cut through the sound of the rain. No matter how I feed the flame, you know I feel the darkness and the pain. All of the ways we tried to break free from the light up the skyline. Let's do it this time, like it's a whole new vibrant world.
看你们队伍打得那么艰难，是上来凑数的吗？
没有你们这支队伍，这个联赛就翻不了。
是啊，我们就来凑数的，不然你们怎样参加这个比赛 ？So what？
第一，我们会在 MKL 让你们尝尝我们的统治力，
然后让 JC 带你们去拍红包。JC 你们要记得，你们绝对不能输，你们输了就要叫周哥带你们来跟我跟牛逼 JC 拿红包了。
No ja no party。
欧兔吗？我们不熟，我们只知道你们会欧，
我们兔。
Another round? Sure, but how about a smoother phone next time?
Realme 14, performance beyond limits.
Rakan muda, coba cintamu nimu. Rakan muda, oh yeah. Bersemangat wajah terus berusaha, keazaman terus membara. Yakin boleh, rakan muda, rakan muda.
Innkeeper, this is from the guest upstairs. Huh? My, I'm rich. He said it was a repayment. Huh?
Innkeeper, I'd like to take that off your hands. Name your price. Come on, indulge me.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Here.
Interesting.
Northern Brook. Where's the man? Let the 12 houses keep it safely. Let's spare the world another bloodbath.
You'll have to ask my blade.
Fine, I'll play your game. After all your travels, you couldn't even buy a decent sword?
Silence!
You have skills, but I see plenty of openings.
Not bad, Master of the House of Riches.
Want it back?
Let's get out of here!
Sorry!
Read the manual!
Come on, we're just playing around. Why so serious?
This concerns the good of the martial world. You can't have the book!
Allow me? Few prestigious schools talk a big game, but you're all just making excuses for yourself. You're still here?
Not good. It's a fake.
You're playing with us.
Illusion magic! Run!
If only I had an alternative, this would never have happened!
Those
human spirit rests in the dark. There's no point to resist. We'll get the secret after.
Magic. Despicable!
That's why Megan keeps the martial menu for himself. For that treasure. I see. It's with the sword.
Quiet! The manual is already back out in the world!
An excellent performance.
The Forbidden?
Welcome to the inn. Welcome to your doom.
Your little business isn't worth my time. I smirk at people's greedy nature, for the fleeting fortune shall be their dark future. Hey! Fistfuls of gold! Light as willow blossoms! Golden strike! Dressed with dignity, moving with grace. Elegant as a soaring swan. The human heart is unpredictable. Even the righteous can be untrustworthy.
Welcome to Honor of Kings, the update with the most perks ever. A great battle is about to begin in the new season. All alone? New mode, platform bounce, quick join team fight.
You know I'm ready to feast, out of the belly at least, I'm ready to eat. They wanna bury the beast, but did it nefariously. I'm back active, grab action, leg work and some back spashes. Not me, but I'm back spazzing. Good now, but you wanna be great? Show me, ain't nothing left that I came to say. Show me. Show me. Let's go. I do not care what you came to say. I do not come here to play no games. I do not care what you came to say. I do not come to play no games. I am the one that knows the trophies. You better.
Victory! Defeat.
It's high five day. No one loses.
All about another round.
High five day. Tons of team perks.
From a single spark, the fire begins. Embers Awaken, a call to rise, to reignite, to re-emerge with strength and passion. Malaysia's first ever official Honor of Kings League, a symbol of pride, power, and the roar of something unstoppable. A new group rises from the ashes. Fresh fire, unwritten stories, fierce hunger. This league is their proving ground, and they're here to burn. Team Secret fight to claim what's theirs. Nova, champions who've tasted glory but want more. BSE, not just defending the crown, they're evolving, reigniting the passion. Witness the Embers Awakening.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MKL Spring Season 2025 Regular Season's Victory Day 2. And I'm your today caster Ming Xuan with my today partner Sir Cloud.
Oh yeah, it feels like it's been a while, but it was just last week when we casted, right? So it's glad to be back at the scene. And today we will have 3 different matches to be played here today. How are you feeling today, Ming Xuan?
Actually, I'm quite exciting and I put a lot of ENG Global, our top 3 titan for our MKL, but at the same time, they will fight against with Seoul DT O2. Maybe for them, it is quite risky positions in the standing, so they need to fight for themselves right now because almost half of the journey of our regular season right now.
Yeah, of course, if you want to beat the best, you got to beat the rest, right? So, in order for them to be the champion, they have to go up against these giants and to remind everyone on the journey for all these teams. So we're still at the regular season here, ladies and gentlemen, where the teams will play a double round robin. The teams make up from 4 invited teams and also 4 teams who qualified here from the qualifiers itself. Only the top 6 teams will move on to the playoff and essentially will become the champion and also move on to the Esports World Cup. That is only for the top 3, of course. So they have to be the best of the rest to be up there.
Yeah, so we will have our playoff offline at Sunway Pyramid. So basically we are at week 3, so all of the team will just complete their first round fight. So we can just go through the prize pool. There will compete for the 60,000 total prize. For regular season, you will have the participation award 100 USD share with another teams, and when you win the match in 2-0, you will claim like 300 USD, but if you 2-1, you will just get 200 USD right now. So for the playoff, you will just gain 11,000 USD if you get the champion. So for the second one, we have 8,000 USD, third one 6,000, and fourth one will be 5,000, and our 5th place and 6th will have 3,300 USD. For our FMVP, you will gain 1,000 USD for yourself.
Yeah, we still have the individual award, but that will be left for during the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to stay tuned to that. But I'm pretty sure some of you would have your favorites as of now. But keep tuning in because you never know what might happen throughout the entire league because the regular season is still quite a way, I must say. And speaking about our regular season, the current standings at this moment, BSE, they are at number 1 right now. Followed with Nova Esports, they dropped down a little bit to number 2. 3rd place, ENG Global, Team Secret at 4th place. But to be fair to Nova Esports, they did not play yesterday, so today will be redemption time for them. Number 5, as of now, is DTE Gaming. Number 6, Atoda. Number 7, O2 Esports. Number 8, Seoul Esports. The bottom 2 spots are the 2 spots that you don't want to be in.
Yeah, because we know that if you be the 7 and the 8, you might have no chance to enter our playoff. So for O2 Esports and Seoul Esports, they will try to gain more for our regular season because right now they are in a really risky position.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. They have to continue to fight. Nevertheless, there's still many more weeks to come, and since this is a double round robin, so they will potentially meet again with another team that maybe they have lost and they want to redeem themselves. Now, for today's schedule specifically, we're going to start off with Nova Esports versus Seoul Esports, followed by BSE versus DTE, and we'll end the day with O2 versus AG Global.
Yeah, so for Sir Cloud, do you feel excited for today's matchup?
Oh, absolutely. I have my request. My brother Blab put it out yesterday again that I want to see. Rome, Lubu. I'm looking at game number 1, guys.
Yeah, because we know that Nova just bring a lot of interesting BP into our game, especially like the Athena picks and for the Kongming to counter back Luna. So for them, I trust that they also will let us see something fresh in today's matchup.
Yeah, why not, right? Might as well. Put it out. We really love to see. And there's still a whole long list of heroes that have not been played yet. I mean, I can name so many of them. But of course, we have to name our one sponsor who's supporting us. Thank you so much to Realme for being together with us for this season. MKL is of course supported by our official tournament partner, Realme Gaming. Pick Realme 14 series, Realme 14 5G. Features segment best Snapdragon 6 Gen 4 chipset, long-lasting battery, largest VC cooling area, and empowers players to enjoy 120 FPS in HOK. It promises a smooth, high-performance gaming experience. Gaming! Pick Realme 14 series.
Yeah, if you want to play like a pro player like our MKL player, so just get Realme.
Yep, because 120 FPS, you know, is going to be important, especially when you use those very high mechanical heroes. You know who it is. Like you got the Mai, you got the Jing, you got the Luna, all these high mechanical heroes. You would really appreciate the 120 FPS. But before we get onto the game, Ming Xuan, we're going to introduce our teams and the players. Here we have them, our juggernauts, Nova Esports versus Seoul Esports.
Yeah, so we will have Muchi, Xuan, CY, Vandy, and Weipit at the Nova side. And for the Seoul Esports, we have Junyong, Gui, Frost, JK, and Ricky.
Oh yeah, so this will be their first meeting for this season. Of course, everyone's first meeting until the second half of the regular season. And this is basically the number 1 team versus the number 8 team. So I'm sure a lot of fans will be thinking to themselves that, oh no, this is definitely a David versus Goliath. But we have seen surprises before in the MKL this season. Who knows? We might see one here today.
Yeah, although all of the people will just think that, oh, for Seoul Esports today is such a tough game for them. But actually, we also seek for some miracle happen, because we know that actually Seoul Esports also quite potential. So right now, they'll just need to try to take something from Nova and they'll just build up the confidence. We know that an important thing for Seoul Esports right now is try to claim more marks as more as they can.
Yeah, and between them, of course, we have to highlight the key players here. Weipit and Junyong, the 2 roamers for their respective teams. But of course, because of Nova Esports, they've been really dominant in the MKL. No surprise that their stats are leaning towards Weipit, obviously. So we can see here, average assist towards Weipit, average death towards Weipit. I'm not sure if you want a high average death, but if you can't think about it, Ming Xuan, for the average death stats here, this is high for Weipit just because of that Athena roam round.
Yeah, because we know that for the Athena, they'll just keep sacrifice Athena and just gain more advantage for their teams. Because if I'm not mistaken, for that game, actually Weipit just taken down by the another side for almost 12 kills on Weipit. So definitely this is why it have a really high average death. But we can find out that actually mostly all of the data out of the status just show that how dominant is Weipit in this clash lane.
Well, but what impressed me the most is that they actually have the same amount of hero pool. Junyong and Weipit, 5 heroes so far played. So we can say that in terms of hero pool depth, at least from the stats that we can see, they're actually pretty close. They're actually similar. However, I wonder if today we will break that number. We'll make it at least a number 6 for Weipei because I'm still waiting for my Lubu Rome.
Yeah, actually, for my wish, PSE is already granted to me, my mid laner Da Qiao. But for your Lubu Rome, it haven't appeared right now. So we are just looking for this kind of fresh, new things from Noah Esports.
Yeah, so let's see if they'll bring it onto the table as we will head on to the draft for game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. And so far, based on the bans, interesting. We don't always get to see a Lone being banned nowadays, but it seems like Nova Esports, they want to prior ban that. Now, the fact that the Dolia is still up, we definitely won't see a Dolia Lone combo, but there's still like the Elaine combo, there's still like the Yixin combo, so that could still happen.
Yeah, actually, because after the mash up until yesterday, I go to view, just go through our state, I can find out that actually right now, the Zhang Fei is the highest pick hero in our MKL, 24 times. But for this Long, also really high, the picks, because Long is achieved 23 picks right now. So definitely it's a popular pick for MKL, and we can find out that So Esports just goes to Arlie and Zhang Fei.
Well, yeah, the moment you mentioned about the Zhang Fei pick, and the win rate for Zhang Fei so far is 63%, so it's definitely up there. So we're going to see the Diren J and Yu Huan being picked up by Nova Esports. This looks like a fairly aggressive sort of gameplay by them. Okay, but what's interesting for me is that the Dolia recently seems to have dropped out of favor.
Yeah, definitely. We can find out that if we just keep mentioning the Dolia, and the Dolia will not appear in our mashup. But actually for yesterday, we also can see some of the Dolia performance. It's also quite dominant right now, but actually not so popular right now also. So for So Esports, there just goes to Agudo. Agudo also one of our, I would say that popular jungle right now. Because Agudo is tanky enough, have the sustainable, and at the same time, Agudo also can open our team fight.
Yeah, and you have the furball to actually give you extra durability in fights. You can send it front, just do something, start something, and then just return, and Agudo is still fine generally. But looking at the second phase ban, some of the power bans here are out. So the Luna is out, the Jing is out. These are the 2 power bans. And then there is a ban for the Guan Yu as well. Interesting enough, because Xuan, he really likes his Guan Yu. But I think nowadays he just wants to try something else. It's just too cliche. He's always rated to Guan Yu. So we don't get to see as many Guan Yus as we would have liked from him. But we still get to see him using the Dharma. Now for both sides, okay, Seoul Esports, they need to lock in a mid. So they're going to go with the Yixin, gives them a lot more control when it comes to the team fights.
Yeah, actually we can know that right now after the second banned phrase, So Esports just minimized the hero pool of Noah Esports, the jungler of Noah Esports. So for Noah Esports, actually there still have some great pick. I would say that if they want to go for assassins, we still have Musashi, Luna, and Musashi and our Pei, or I would say that something like Lam. So it still have pretty much choice for Noah Esports, but we can see that Noah Esports just thinks a lot.
Yeah, they're really taking their time there, right? But so we're going to lock in the Dune. Wow, Dune Dharma. Okay, so that's a lot of durability together with the Garden Mo. Okay, I was half hoping that this is a mid Yu Huan. I was half hoping, right? So looks like I'm not going to get my Lubu Rome yet. I will leave it for later. Okay, we still have whatever happens, at least one more game. And the Gunman Mo will give a lot of damage output from the back to Nova Esports. So now, looking at Gun and Mo, the only one that can truly get to the backline is probably the Elaine with the Dead by Sunset. If the Elaine is not able to, then they're going to have a hard time to deal with the Gun and Mo.
Yeah, and actually we can find out that for So Esports, they're pretty tanky for this game. We can find out that have Agudo, have Zhang Fei. At the same time, they have Yixin just open up a team fight by using the ulti. So for So Esports, actually they have a really complete, I would say that complete compositions, quite good. But At the same time, Nova Esports also have full of damage, but they need to make sure the DRNG have enough space to farming up and just deck out the whole damage.
Yeah, and overall, I'll be slightly worried for the early though during the farming phase, going up against the DRNG as well. But let's see what will happen within our game, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be game number 1 between our two amazing teams here, Nova Esports and Seoul Esports.
Yeah, definitely Dow just goes to the mid, having a lane, I would say that shift the lane to the mid lane. Because we know that Gun Ammo have a really strong lane priority in the mid lane, and they're just try to let this early game as more as it can during the early game.
Yeah, because he knows that if we were to put the early versus the DRNG, it's not going to have a good time at farm lane, so instead they send the Yixing down to the farm lane instead. So it's a little bit more balanced at the beginning. How long will this last? Maybe until they are level 4. Then we'll start to see the shift of lanes.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, so Esports, if it want to boost up the farming of this early, they just can try. Like we can find out that when they just pick up early, we still have one strategy that let the early goes through the 3 lane. Just take more resources that this early can. We also can find out right now. You see early just go to the top lane.
Yeah, quickly clear the mid lane quickly with the help of the Agudo Gui, and that will allow him to just move around, maybe get a jungle creep somewhere at the top, something extra, and then move back to the middle to clear off the next wave, and then rinse and repeat until he reaches power spike. But we might see a decent amount of engagement in the middle. Wavepit is there to absorb a decent amount of damage, but because the Agudo is there as well, that provides a certain amount of cover towards JK.
Actually, probably, I think during the early game, we can find out that right now, they'll just play really aggressive. Frost just let the CY in a quite, I would say, the mid HP right now. Actually, this is what I wanted to mention. For this 4 minutes timing, just before the 4 minutes, probably both of them will just try to do some harassment on the jungle. At the same time, they will just do some small engagement, because if they just do a big engagement for both of them, they didn't have enough damage during the early game right now.
Yeah, so we can see as well that Nova Esports, they're starting to be a little bit more aggressive towards Seoul Esports, and they want to try to just take over the resources of Seoul Esports at some point, but it's still very, very early at this stage. However, if you kind of think about it, we're heading on to the 3rd minute, and some teams will want to play aggressively in the 3rd minute, like making a jungle invasion. But I guess that they are respectful of the Zhang Fei. But speaking about the Zhang Fei now, we have an engagement by the Zhang Fei itself. Ricky gets the first play onto Wendy with the world is my board, trapping him inside of it. And the fight continues on. Looks like Junyong will still be at the forefront, but because all of them, they're out of skills, out of cooldown, so they will rest for now, happy with the first blood.
This is a great engagement that opened up from Seoul Esports. We can find out that all of the things just connect just so perfectly after the Yixing ulti and with the damage deck out, just perfectly.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. Great execution there. I was a little bit worried when the Unbridled Outburst was used earlier on, but he got the timing absolutely right. And now the counter engagement comes in by Nova Esports. They're looking at JK though, but JK has Junyong together with him with the Leaping Saber to provide him that extra shield to survive.
Actually, right now, because we can find out that for Seoul Esports, they are just gain the first blood. But honestly, because right now, we are just approached to the 4 minutes. So for both of them, they will just try to occupy the space at the river. And basically, I think they will not do anything risky right now, because when you take a risk, it probably will let you in a really, really dangerous situation. You see.
Oh, here we go. World is my board. It's the risk that they're going to take right now with CY at the forefront. Unbridled Outburst will push 3 players for Nova Esports to the side, but no further engagement from Seoul Esports. The Tyrant is still open by Seoul Esports. You can see that their jungler Gui is currently 50% HP. He cannot continue on to try to smite that Tyrant.
So after this, actually, both of them just dancing in front of this Tyrant and didn't have a great opportunity. But right now, we can find out that Shen just take down Frost.
Oh, Okay. All right, just like that, 1v1 one against Frost. Interesting, and that will give him the opportunity to take down the top tower.
Yeah, I think this is a great chance, or I would say that great chance for Nova Esports and a pretty risky sign to Seoul Esports right now, because Nova Esports just gained the advantage, and just like what Nova Esports used to do, they will just maximum all the advantage that they will gain.
Well, is my board deployed, catching 3, but then again, it was only Junyoung alone within the world is my board. His teammates were too far away for them to engage. But from the side here, we have Xuan coming in from the back. Xuan jumps in, looks for the back line, immediately aims out to Ricky. Ricky with the last stick of health. Xuan was not able to complete his mission. Now JK will finish off Xuan, but Xuan is just too far away. CY could come in, engaging on the JK. JK could be the one in trouble. Stun on the JK, and JK survives.
Oh my god, for Seoul Esports, this is totally a bad news, because we know that for Seoul Esports, after this huge engagement, they are just lose the T1 turret. At the same time, 3 kills goes to Nova Esports. And for Nova Esports, there is the team that will stack up the advantage as fast as they can. So right now, Nova Esports will just initiate the whole game, boost up the farming phase, let them can end the game as fast as they can.
Yeah, it doesn't help that the fact that the Tyrant was given to Nova Esports as well, so they have scaled to a certain extent that they're able to pick down the mid tower. That the mid tower, the jungle is open as well. Junyoung is waiting in the bush. He does have the Unbridled Outburst. Now we can see as well that CY is going to catch one player. Ricky is the one in trouble. He tries to go all the way to the back line. Ricky still survives somehow. Last stick of health. Oh man, how lucky can Ricky be?
Good one from Ricky. We can find out that they are just keep the position in a quite far distance. I would say that actually CY also goes quite deep, but Ricky just always can use the ability, use the, I would say that this distance to zoning with this doing. So for Ricky, they just can run for the life. So for Seoul Esports, I think that right now they need to buy some time for themselves, because we know that actually for Nova Esports, if they gain the advantage, they will not give a lot of opportunity to let Seoul Esports to shine.
Yeah, Seoul Esports right now, they're being pushed back, so it's going to be difficult for them to see the sunlight to really shine. World is my board, catches 3 for the side of Nova Esports. They try to engage, but then again from the side as well. We do a strand together with CY. They want to try to get Wendy. Wendy's pretty low. Wendy steps away. Now with a couple of blades. On to Frost, and Frost will be the first one to fall in that fight. JK might be the next one. He's pretty low as well. Junyoung is there to absorb the amount of damage. Junyoung underneath the tower will continue to be sieged down by Nova Esports. They lost 2 with the tower together.
Actually, it is a great opening for Seoul Esports. We can find out that Ricky just able to use the ulti to make 3 Nova Esports member in the board, and at the same time they'll just go to cut inside the backliner of Nova Esports. However, Nova Esports have a really good coordinations, and at the same time they'll just make a I would say that pretty great disengagement and just pay back all the damage on Seoul Esports.
Juan onto JK, but JK flashes away to safety. That was a close one for JK.
Yeah, actually for Nova Esports, they will not give a lot of space, or I would say that for Seoul Esports right now, they want to try to just push out the vision, or I would say that push out the space, but it is quite difficult, right?
Yeah, because they don't have the towers as well. That doesn't really help in their opportunity to try to take back their own jungle. But they might also lose the bottom tower. There you go. Bottom tower goes to the hands of Nova Esports. They continue to be pressed by Nova themselves.
Actually, still have some. Oh, we can find out that huge damage from Nova Esports.
Oh, that couple play from afar. Ricky has to run. Junior has to run as well. They don't have the health to defend their tower. The tower will fall.
Actually, for Seoul Esports right now, they are just not tanky enough to overcome this huge damage, crazy damage from Wendy, because we know that this gun will have a really long distance damage that can back out.
Yeah, just look at this. One couple blade, and then you send Ricky back all the way. That is crazy. And now with the fact that Nova Esports took down all their towers, Seoul Esports will have an even harder journey in this round. Just look at their leveling gap right now.
Yeah, and actually right now we're going to approach to the 10 minutes timing. So far, so Esports, they need to fight for this dragon, but they didn't have the ability right now because we know that Nova Esports will just directly take down the Overlord to make some push in for this game. Because for right now, Nova Esports take down this Overlord, they can try to shut down the whole game already.
Yeah, and the goal gap is really huge at this point. It's about 8k with the Overlord goes to the hands of Nova Esports. This could be the final push to end this round. So it's going to be big if Seoul Esports can actually defend this one. Now they start off against Junyoung. Junyoung absorbing the damage. Look at the couple blades. Even Junyoung, lots of damage onto him. Unbridled Outburst will be forced upon him. And now he needs to back up, but his health is really low. Here comes Swan all the way from the back. And he will be the catalyst to take out 4 players for Seoul Esports. Nothing they can do about this. Nova Esports take game 1.
Yeah, actually we can find out that for this game 1, it's totally is fully dominant by Nova Esports. For Seoul Esports, actually, I would say that I will highlight Ricky Ishin. Actually, for their ulti, it's opened up really good. We can find out that always this ulti can just catch the member of Nova Esports at least 3 or 2. But what we wanted to say that unfortunately we have a huge damage from Nova Esports for this game.
Yeah, Wendy with the gun and more, couple blades from the back. Like, even if you want to engage into those who are trapped inside the world is my board, with Wendy there, you move in and then it's like, oh, 50% of your health gone. And then you cannot continue on. So that's why they cannot follow up from the beautiful world is my board. I do agree. Every time the world is my board comes up, it's like 2-3 heroes inside of it, but the follow-up was so difficult for Seoul Esports.
Yeah, so we can go through for the item build. Actually, we can find out that it will have a lot of difference between both of the team because Nova Esports have a huge goal lead in our game.
Yeah, the last we checked, it was like, what, 8k goal difference? So 8k is a lot. I mean, if you compare the items, it's just uncomparable at this point. Ricky, as a mid laner, has 3 empty slots, as you can see there. Yes, 3 are completed, great with the Venomous Staff, but then again, on the other side, Wendy is, well, he's not really like complete per se, but at least he has entered something into his slots. So you can see the gap there is pretty significant.
Yeah, actually for Seoul Esports, I think after this game, they will I would say that they will have a huge stress for the next game because we know that at first, maybe they will just say that, oh, I'm the 8th, but for Nova Esports, right now there is the top 2 teams. And for me, is it able I just fight against Nova Esports? So maybe for the game 1, they are still stick for some miracle. But within these 2 games, their confidence, I think it will be influenced for this game 1.
Yeah, as much as Wendy actually contributed to this one, the irony is that 1 kill, the first blood was onto Wendy. And looking over at some of these numbers, so JK is the highest damage dealer for Seoul Esports with 57k, but on Nova Esports side, I mean, no surprises, right? With a couple of blades, it will definitely be a gun and most. And Wendy, 81.2k, is the highest damage dealer for them.
Yeah, actually, this is quite normal because we know that Gun Ammo have a really crazy damage, and the damage over time for Gun Ammo actually also quite, I would say that, give a lot of tension on Seoul Esports because Seoul Esports, when the time Seoul Esports wanted to step out to find some opportunity to seek for some chance, but this Gun Ammo just at the backliner just directly use the skill and make them in a really low HP.
Yeah, and he keeps his distance well, right? Despite, it sounds like an irony that the fact that, he is the one that gave away the first blood, but that's very early in the game, so that's absolutely okay. But after that, he was pretty much untouchable. When it comes to the graph, well, like what you said, mentioned, this is a very one-sided game towards Nova Esports, though there was a pretty slow and steady start, I must say, but the moment they hit their level 4s, their level 5s, they just spike up immediately from there.
Yeah, actually, because at first we know that for Seoul Esports, they are just gain the first blood successfully from Nova Esports. It might give them a lot of confidence during the early game. But after Nova Esports just take down the advantage, I would say that this is their strategy. When they are get the advantage, they will gain all of things, they will just try to take over the whole map. Just do a lot of macro and map controlling, and this is what Seoul Esports cannot stand up with.
Yeah, can't get a single tower as well, Ming-Xuan. Just look at this, all zeros down there. The goal gap at the end of the game is 10k KDA, 10 kill difference. I mean, just by looking at the numbers itself, it definitely tells the story of the entire round. But we have to award the MVP to one player. Could it be Wendy? Could it be someone else? The MVP for this round, it is none other than Mr. Gun and Mo Wendy.
Yeah, actually, I think that this MVP Wendy worth it, because we know that this Gun and Mo just do a lot of things, no matter during the team fight or just some small engagement for the lane priority, because we know that this Gun and Mo is a really, really popular hero. And why it's popular, we can see this. Gun and Mo have a totally crazy damage, and at the same time can gain a lot of visions, obviously that gain a lot of things for their teams.
Yeah, 30% and only 8% damage taken. So that's very, very low, means that he keeps his distance well from team fights. Looking over at some of the best moments here in our highlight, and this is their first engagement during the first Tyrant, and it was quite clear that Nova Esports won that one.
Yeah, actually we can find out that this moment we also just pay a tribute on Ricky, because we know that this Ishin just can keep the distance in a really well. I would say that they'll just actually for Seoul Esports, they'll try their best and do so well, perform so well, but however, I would say that your blue side right now is Nova Esports. You can't do anything right now.
Sorry, I was just admiring the slow motion with a couple plates onto Gui. That was beautifully done by our production team. So shout out to our production team as well. You guys are doing an amazing job with the show. And that is game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. 1-0 to Nova Esports. Now, coming on to game number 2, I want to answer life's mystery. Okay, but before I give that question, before we see whether it happens or not in the game, I would like to ask your opinion. Lubu Rome, do you think Lubu can play the Rome role?
Of course. Actually, let us go through the skill of Lubu. Lubu just tanky enough, and there can sustain a lot of damage. When the damage soak in, actually Lubu can do a really, really good frontliner job. And at the same time, we know that the ulti of Lubu can open up a team fight really well. When Lubu jump in, just cage all the members from the other side, and it will change all the thing of the team fight. I think it is a great pick for Lubu. Yeah.
Thank you, Ming-Xuan. I take that as a support that we still want to see the Lubu roam, okay? We still want to see the Lubu roam. This is game number 2. Not like it will be the last game, but it might potentially be. So come on, Nova Esports, Lubu roam on the table. Let's go.
Yeah, and we can see that actually for both of them, Nova Esports just use the Dharma, use the Yuhuan, so Nova Esports just say that, I finished it, but I will not give it to you, because for our meta, for our current tournament, both of this is a popular pick. And for Seoul Esports, they'll just say the same thing. I just banned away the Ali and Agudo, but Mai is in the hand of Nova Esports right now.
Ooh, Wendy with the Mayin. Using a 120 FPS phone. Beautiful. I can see that happening. Now, of course, without the early, to be fair, Seoul Esports, they did use the early before that, so they can't combo it. Yet that will be picked up. They can potentially go for the low, or maybe they can go for a lady soon. But they want to prioritize the loan that was banned in game 1, which is absolutely fine. You want to try to find the right targets to one shot. But now, I am disappointed. We see a Zhangfei. Okay, I'm done. Bye.
Yeah, actually we can find out that Nova Esports just goes to Zhangfei, and Zhangfei is one of a popular rumor for our current meta, and at the same time Mayan also in the game, in the house. So for Nova Esports, this is a sign for Seoul Esports. Nova Esports say that if I get the play, I will play really aggressive during the early game. You need to think about it right now, So Esports.
I'm sad now, okay? I'm sad. Still don't get my Lubu robe. I'm sad, okay? I'm sad. I cry. Oh well, life has to go on. At least Nova will play my main, which is Zhangfei. Absolutely fine. But if you think about it as well, like Nova Esports power pick, you got the Mai, lots of mobility. You got the Mayan, also lots of mobility. Basically, these two, if they just move around like in a team fight, you would have a problem even to decide who to catch first.
Yeah, definitely. Because we can find out that for Seoul Esports right now, the main control that they'll have just a small control, pretty small control from Dia. And for Outground, they just can open up a team fight because for Outground, until right now, we can see that Dia, Long Outground will have the mission to be a frontliner right now. And they still need to solve one problem is, I know when Long have their ulti, it will be safe and soundly. But right now, this Long, if the ulti just forced out by Nova Esports, they are able to protect their marksman right now?
I'm actually pretty surprised that the Hou-Yi is being banned. Number one, because of stats. Number two, because it's a Hou-Yi. I would have, honestly, without even Nova Esports picking the Lady Soon, I would have banned the Lady Soon up front. Higher priority over the Hou-Yi. Like there's so many, right? Like you've got to think about it. You got the Marco Polo that can be banned first. You got you got the Lady Soon. You got a lot of other heroes that you can ban first. But I'm not too sure what was the thought process behind banning the Hou-Yi. Hopefully we get to hear from the players themselves. But anyway, Lady Soon now being picked by Nova Esports. Zhangfei will be the bodyguard, and then you have like Mai and Mayan just messing around the team fight. Protect the President is not going to be too difficult for Nova Esports now.
Yeah, actually, for me, after the BP, I would just give my favor to Nova Esports because like what I mentioned just now, if you give this pay to Nova Esports, you didn't ban it out, you didn't eliminate it, and definitely Nova Esports will just play really, really pace, fast freedom. And for the last pick, I would say that the counter pick from Seoul Esports, they will just use this Princess Frost come into the game. Yeah, I know that the meaning is I want to use the second skill from Princess Frost to just slow down some of you. But I think that is still weak, It's not enough for Seoul Esports right now.
Yeah, I worry as well because the damage output by Princess Frost is not that big. It's more for control. But let's see if it works out for them. For Seoul Esports coming on to game number 2 between Nova Esports and Seoul Esports.
Yeah, we can find out that actually for Seoul Esports for this game, they need to be more, I would say that more caution. They need to know the visions for this Wendy, for Trent, and CY also, because we know that 3 of this hero will just give a lot of stress for your backliner, and especially for this game, you're going to protect your president, you're going to protect this Long. It's able you let your Long just back out the damage in a really pretty good surrounding, or I would say that having a quite good surrounding to farming up. So this is the problem for Seoul Esports right now, and Nova Esports will just know clearly for this point. So for the early game, they definitely will just play in a really aggressive.
Yeah, and Wendy allows CY to take the mid lane clearance at the very beginning, allow him to scale to level 4 as quickly as possible so he can sort of engage. But also for Wendy, because he kind of like split out the experience with him, he's also somewhere at level 4 by now. So it's actually a very fast movement here by Nova Esports in the very beginning.
Yeah, and actually we can find out that right now they have the, I would say that the priority on, I have the level priority for Nova Esports. So it is also a sign for Seoul Esports because we know that they will always do something when Mai reach the level 4, and we can find out that right now JK is in a really low HP. It will be the time.
Okay, no going in for Nova Esports. They're not going to take that risk. But I also want to point out the fact that because you put a Long versus a Zhangfei, at the lane, Zhangfei can actually absorb everything. But in the middle, Ricky is in trouble. Not really. The tower still protects him, so he's fine for now. But coming back to my point, because the Zhangfei was at the farm lane earlier on, all the flaming pumps can be easily absorbed by him, allowing Moonji to be safe behind.
Yeah, actually, and we also can find out that for Noah is right now they are just trying to push up most of the members from Noah Esports right now, because we know that Noah Esports they need to farm up, they need to protect this lady scent, having a really great surrounding. But because of this kind of composition, Noah Esports will just keep an eye or say that we more prefer to play aggressive, like Zhangfei just follow the pay, follow the Mai to do some small engagement with Seoul Esports. So for Seoul Esports, they need to try to secure their secure their small resources that prevent Noah Esports just take a lot of advantage from them.
Oh, but now everything's onto Ricky. Ricky, last stick of health. Xuan comes in as usual from behind. He's the master of flanking. This guy, Xuan, you always need to keep him in check.
Yeah, this is what I just mentioned before at the really start of our this game too. If you let this Shen, CY, Wendy, this Mai, Pei, Mayan just come into this game, you need to know where is them. You need to gain their vision, because if you didn't know where is them, it definitely will be a great stress for you.
But now it's even stressful, the fact that they know that at the side jungle, Wendy and CY is there. Here comes Wayfit to the rescue as well. And Xuan moves in, and CY secures the kill onto Ricky just like that.
Oh my god, after this, actually, they will just give some opportunity for Noah Esports to take some resources from their jungle. And actually, for right now, Noah Esports just need to keep this kind of space. Oh, this red buff just goes to Noah Esports.
And Frost actually went in trying to steal away the buff. But then again, how could you steal away the buff from not only a Pei, but also a Smite? And he gave his life away just like that.
Yeah, this is what I just speak it out before, because right now Noah Esports will just try to gain a lot of things, and right now they'll just take down your red buff. Definitely they will remember the time for your red buff. So they will just come inside to say hi with you for the next time.
Yeah, and not only giving away the buff, give away his life as well, gold, experience, and everything else under the sun. So if I was him, then I was Frost, I wouldn't have gone in at all. But looking at the Tyrant, here's a replay of whatever happened earlier with Wayfit stealing away the Tyrant beautifully with his smite.
Wow, this one is good one, because we know that for this Tyrant buff actually also helped Noah Esports a lot in the engagement before, and right now we can find out that only 5 minutes 30 seconds, okay, they are just take down the high ground turret from Seoul Esports.
Wow, 5 minutes and 30 seconds, they are already cleared with the top lane. That is crazy. Now the fight continues on. Gui seems to be the one in trouble, but Gui has an outgun. Is he tanky enough though? He's still okay. He managed to survive now underneath the tower, but he has to back up quickly. While speaking about at the back, Junyong is on to CY. CY, hey, Junyong is gonna have a hard time to chase him, but he will still try, and he will still get CY at least. Now Xuan will want to trade it back off. This is for my friend.
This is a 1-to-1 trade, but Seoul Esports, yeah, I use a Yaya to exchange with your pay. I definitely gain a little bit things, but for Seoul Esports right now, they have a huge turret. I would say that huge stress on the turret, because we know that for the top high ground turret just take down by Noah Esports just now. So right now, if Seoul Esports want to try to matching the pace with Noah Esports, also quite a big problem.
Yeah, I mean, now the gap is like, what, 4k? Oh, but in the middle, looks like an engagement by Nova Esports starting off with Waypay with a kill. And CY gets his own kill as well. They're looking for the next target, which is Gui. Gui, as tanky as he is, he will fall.
Oh, I wanted to highlight Waypit this Zhangfei. Not only because steal the dragon, steal the tyrant away, and this one, you always can protect their teammates in a really good surrounding and just take down a lot of advantage from Seoul Esports. Wow!
Well, they tried to get the loan, but the Infinity Master saved him. But can't say the same for his other teammates as well. At least Seoul Esports, they tried to defend as hard as they can. But right now, it's going to be Nova Esports wrapping it up for sure with an ace. Nova Esports clean 2-0 win. And this is a very, very fast game. It ended in 7 minutes, 27 seconds.
Actually totally amazed me for this game too, because we know that for game 1 we also go through the whole game. Nova Esports just take down the whole game in a really quick moment, 10 minutes, around 10 minutes I think. Yeah, and for this game 2 they'll just use almost 7 minutes or 8 minutes just take down the whole game. I think that this pretty is a great one for Nova Esports because they are gain a 2-0, but for Seoul Esports they are still need to figure it out where is my problem, because I can open up a team fight in a really good situation. I would say that I also can gain something from Nova Esports, but why I cannot gain the advantage, I cannot maximum my advantage that I have taken down from Nova Esports.
Do you think there's something to do with the draft? Because when the banning phase, especially the second banning phase, where I saw the whole year ban, I was also like, not too sure about that. But do you think that something could have been done better with the draft?
Actually, I think for the second ban, I think if they're just directly ban away the pay, and Nova Esports also will not end the game in a so quick rhythm. I would say that's so fast the pace. So actually for the second ban, if it goes to the ladies' lunch or pay, it would be better. Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do agree as well. Rather than using that one ban for the whole year, you have a lot of other better options. Even if you ban the concert year, I would be like, okay. But then again, priority was the whole year, so it is what it is at the end of the day. No challenge at all for Nova Esports in this round, unfortunately. The numbers don't lie, right? Like, even if you compare to like game number 1, like this is an even bigger of a snowball for Nova Esports.
Yeah, actually, both of us also mentioned before the whole game too. We know that we have Pei, we have Mian, we have Mai in this game. But so Esports just lack of the control that can slow down or stop down the heroes. So definitely it will give a pretty great chance for Nova Esports to open up a team fight, or I would say that to make some engagement that Seoul Esports cannot withstand of it.
And even if you look at some of these numbers here, Frost himself, less than 10k damage dealt. Yeah, it's pretty tough. But also one more to point out about Seoul Esports in their draft is that they are very dependent on JK to dish out the damage. But one thing about his burst damage, the Flaming Palm, it's like it's burst, right? So he can use it once and then it will take a while for him to charge up before he's able to use it again. So it's pretty overly dependent. I think Seoul Esports overly dependent on JK to come up with the damage. Like, they don't have a secondary damage dealer. They do have like the tag in Frost and Good. They do have control in Ricky. They do have a good support in Junyo's pick. But then again, the overly dependent on JK to deal the damage, that was pretty hard for them.
Yeah, actually for me, just in my perspective, I think that for Seoul Esports, they are able to drag the whole fight, whole game until a pretty late game. Maybe they'll have the opportunity, have the chance to fight against with Nova this kind of conversation, because we know that when Long just farm up completely, it also have a crazy damage. But right now, we can find out that Nova Esports also realized this point. So Nova Esports just shut down the whole game in a pretty, I would say that, in a really early game.
Yeah, although some of these numbers do reflect that Seoul Esports did a little bit better than the previous round, especially with the fact that they took one tower out of Nova Esports. I mean, I'm just being positive here, right? And the goal difference as compared to round 1 was about 10k. This time it's about 8k or so, and they got more kills this round as compared to round number 1. So yeah, in some stats, depending on how you look at it, whether the glass is half full or half empty, Seoul Esports did a little bit better, but because they ended the game in about 7 minutes-ish, so yeah, that's like the bigger story to tell there.
Yeah, actually, if you want to I will say that thing in a positive way. For Seoul Esports, they can just gain something from the top 1 teams, So for the Titans, so actually it's quite good performance for today because we know that actually they'll try their best to open up a team fight or make some engagement happen. And surely they'll also gain something during the engagement. I would say that they'll also have the turn to win the team fight. But however, this is Nova Esports.
Well, this is our MVP, and it's going to be Mochi this time, the president himself, and with a KDA of 502. And also to note that the pentakill that he got, especially towards the end, was the first pentakill of the MKL.
Oh, it's my honor to find out the first pentakill in my cast. So definitely I will say that this Lady Sun just performed so well and deck out all the things that this Lady Sun have. At the same time, I also pretty want to highlight the performance of Zhang Fei because actually Zhang Fei just protect this Lady Sun in a really good situation and make this Lady Sun have the ability, have the chance, have the opportunity, just make a lot of damage out.
Yeah, if you kind of think about it, that pentakill meaning that his KD of 502, this is all by the pentakill itself. And the game ended in 7 minutes 27 seconds, which is pretty fast. Within 7 minutes 27 seconds, you could find a pentakill. That is insane, Mention.
Yeah, because we know that the whole game just ends in a really short period. So for them, they'll just do a lot of things during the 7 minutes. Maybe 7 minutes, I just only can watch, I would say that I just can watch the half of my drama, So for this 7 minutes, but this Nova Esports do a lot of things and just perform so well and even take down the first pentakill for our whole tournament.
Back in my day, dramas were 1 hour long. I didn't know that dramas nowadays were that short. But yeah, this is a drama that ended very shortly as well towards the end. Just observe the pentakill. Okay, just look at Buchi's position. Okay, from the back, he just bang, boom, bang, and that's your pentakill all the way. The notification, did it come out? Okay, it came out in time, maybe. Yeah, but anyway, that was a pentakill, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations to Mochi, MVP, because of his pentakill.
Yeah, actually we can find out that in this 7 minutes, they just performed so well and a lot of stunning things in this 7 minutes. I think that it is a great job for Nova Esports. But after this big game, I would say that this fight against Nova Esports and our Seoul Esports, we also will have an amazing game for our match 2 for today, BSE against DTE. Actually, I quite exciting because I know that DTE and BSE just claimed their win for yesterday match-up. So I think that both of them will just full of energy and come to fight against each other for today.
Yeah, and BSC, well, something along the lines they said about we want them to give ampao. Okay, all right. I guess that's a thing there for DTE. But yeah, I do agree as well. Like the game coming up next, BSE versus DTE is the highlight game here for today. Let's not forget as well, during the first match of the MKL this season, DTE took 1 game out of AG Global. So who knows if they can do the same against BSE?
Yeah, actually we can find out that for DT, they are just quite in the middle of our standing. I would say that quite stable and steady in our standing. Just to perform so well and also have some stunning action. I would say that a lot of great team fight during the in-game. So why not? We just sit for some miracle happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. Or maybe we will see new heroes because in our first series we did not see any new heroes. So just putting it out there, okay? Creativity is still on the board. I would be interested to see, of course, if BSE or maybe DTA can come out with something different, something that we don't see usually, okay? If not, we're going to see more of the Arlies. We're maybe going to see more of the Zhang Feis, the top big sort of heroes. But we'll leave discussion for later, ladies and gentlemen, because we'll head on to a short break. So do not go anywhere, people. BSE versus DTE coming up next.
看你们队伍打得那么艰难，是上来凑数的吗？
没有你们这支队伍，这个联赛就办不了。
是啊，我们就来凑数的，不然你们怎样参加这个比赛 ？So what？
第一，我们会在 MKL 让你们尝到我们的统治力，
然后让 JC 带你们去拍红包。
ESC 你们要记得，你们绝对不能输，你们输了就要叫周哥带你们来跟我跟牛逼杰西拿红包了。
ENG No Ja No Party。
呕吐吗？我们不熟，我们只知道你们会呕，
我们吐。
Hugging stinks. Victory.
Yeah.
Another round. Sure, but how about a smoother phone next time?
Realme 14, performance beyond limits.
Rakan muda, coba cintamu nimu. Rakan muda, bersemangat wajah terus berusaha, keazaman terus membara. Yakin boleh, rakan muda, rakan muda.
Ready for the final battle! Crimson Ambitions! Dangerous element removed. Super core enabled. Always at the front line. Even the most advanced mecha modifications can't remove the propensity for violence. The first rule of mechas: never bully the weak. It seems that your alloy brain is malfunctioning.
Such feebleness, unable to withstand a single blow. Beneath a frost-kissed mound, it's there that memories reside. Bitter-sweet smiles. The journey to Plum Manor is long and arduous, but still, I have to go. Crossblade! across frozen rivers. All will turn to dust. Her fragrant sleeves have been burned to ash, and her grave stands desolate. All my life, I've feared nothing except disgracing the name of the Northern Blade. Nice drink. It's a pity that no one will drink with me again in the future. Where I was born, there were camels, wild geese, and crab apples, as well as great wastelands bathed in moonlight.
Innkeeper, this is from the guest upstairs. Huh? My, I'm rich. He said it was a repayment.
Huh? Innkeeper, I'd like to take that off your hands. Name your price. Come on, indulge me.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Here.
Interesting.
Northern Brook. Where's the man? Let the 12 houses keep it safely. Let's spare the world another bloodbath.
You'll have to ask my blade.
Fine, I'll play your game. After all your travels, you couldn't even buy a decent sword?
Silence!
You have skills, but I see plenty of openings.
Not bad, Master of the House of Riches.
Want it back?
Let's get out of here!
Sorry!
Read the manual!
Come on, we're just playing around. Why so serious?
This concerns the good of the martial world. You can't have the book!
Allow me? Your prestigious schools talk a big game, but you're all just making excuses for yourself. You're still here?
Not good. It's a fake!
You're playing with us!
Illusion magic! Run!
If only I had an opening here, this would never have happened!
Those tears of a broken heart, broken spirits restless in the dark. There's no way to resist. We'll get the secrets after.
Magic! Despicable!
That's why Megan keeps the martial manual for himself. For that treasure. I see. It's with the sword.
Quiet! The manual is already back out in the world!
An excellent performance.
The forbidden.
Welcome to the inn. Welcome to your doom.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our MKL Spring Season 2025 regular season's Victory Day 2, and we are going to approach our match 2 for today.
Oh yeah, the next matchup is going to be really exciting. It's going to be between BSE and DTE. And DTE, generally, they're not doing too bad. They're currently at number 5 and they've always been hovering around like the middle of the chart. So, can DTE be the one to break down BSE?
I think I'm just looking forward of it because we know that actually DTE also performs, I would say that's so stable, and quite safe for right now, the position, because we know that they are just in a 5th place right now. And for BSE, they are just secure their top 2 place. After yesterday's game, they are just fight against AG Global and they can take down the whole game. I would say that some of the moment actually just act like a one-side game when they are just fight against with AG Global. So for DT, they are going to face this, I would say that, upgraded BSE right now. So for them also a great stress.
Yeah, so whether it's going to be a stress or whether it's going to be something happy, before we get into a game, we'd like to introduce our 2 amazing teams here, Black Shoe Esports and DTE.
And we will have Musang King, Xiang, Zhihong, JR, Dian in our BSE side. And for DTE, we have BB, Zunzun, CM, Hao, and Tse.
Yes, so, well, I mean, BSE, they've been having a good run recently as well. Yesterday, they won their game very, very convincingly against AG Global. So just to put it out there. However, DTE, during day 1 of the MKL, the very first game, they took 1 game out of AG Global. So maybe if a team that came through the qualifiers were to be able to beat BSE, it could be DTE.
Yeah, actually because we know that both of them also just perform so well. And right now, we want to highlight both of the mid laner for BSE and DTE, that's Zhihong and BB.
Yeah, looking at the stats here, there are some stats that do favor BB. So average KDA, Zhihong, average GPM, Zhihong as well. But it's not too far away because think about it. Average damage per minute, it is to BB. So interesting enough, he's able to deal out the damage. And when it comes to being together with his team, getting the kills in, he is ahead of Zhihong.
Actually, for both of them, I would think that it's quite neck to neck because we know that the difference is not so like a gap. I would say that just now for the first match up. But for them, I want to highlight the average KDA because this is one of the state we can find out that it's quite difference. It's quite huge. I would say that 6.1 to 4.7.
Yeah, so it is pretty interesting in terms of the KDA, but when it comes to damage output, BB is higher. And I guess that's also because like BSE, obviously they've been winning a lot more games as compared to DTE. So naturally, the average KDA would favor towards Zhihong. But DTE, with this sort of average DPM higher than Zhihong, it just shows that they put some fight in their games.
Yeah, so actually I'm quite looking forward for both of the team they are just fight against because we know that for DTE, they also have the potential to enter the top 4 of our tournament. We'll say that because top 4 they are will in a safer positions in our standings. And for BSE, because we know that BSE also one of the top 2 teams in our MKL. So actually for DTE, I would say that it is a great stress, but if they are manage to take something from BSE, it definitely will be a big confidence for DTE to continue our regular season.
Well, both sides starting off at the draft, and DTE Gaming not too confident about playing against the Luna, so they're going to take the Luna out, and we can see the pay being given the respect back. I mean, you talked about the pay as well in the previous series where the pay needs to be given the attention, and BSE, they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with the Menki as well. Now, DTE Gaming, one last ban. So is it going to be the Mai? If it's not going to be the Mai, then BSE could potentially take it. It is a hot first pick.
Actually, we can find out that both of the teams just try to minimize the heroes that can create a stress on their backliner. I would say that because most of them, they are just ban away the jungler Pei, Monkey, Luna, but the last ban from DTE just take away early, and BSE just straight away just say that I want to get this loan, I will not let this loan to you, so I just lock down the loan. And at the same time, we can find out that DTE just let Channel and Dharma in the game.
Ooh, Dharma also another hot pick. So far being picked 21 times with a win rate of 57%. That's okay. But it's always like one of those early picks. I was kind of surprised to see that the loan being a first pick priority for BSE. Normally you would like see the Dharma or like the Mai, but okay, they come up with something different. Agudo has been a very popular hero in recent time. Can tank in the jungle, can join team fights as well. So not too surprised to see the Agudo coming in and Byron being a secondary tank. This will allow BSE to later on pick a more supportive type of roam for their lineup.
Oh, we can find out that actually DT just goes to our assassin jungle Lam just in our game, because actually for like something like assassin jungle, we can find out that actually like Luna or Jing will have a higher priority than Lam, but DT just say that I want to use this Lam, and actually we know that Lam just performed so well in the previous game. It not be the most popular, but actually also a good pick for the players.
Yeah, Lam is so far being picked only 3 times in the MKL, and now 3 times 2 wins. So it's not too bad for the Lam. Oh, apologies. 3 times only 1 win. So win rate wise, not really favoring the Lam, but hey, the Lam has its advantage as well. It can go in and out of fights quickly. Now, the one that this Lam needs to be careful of is whether he can quickly take down the low, maybe like in a one shot before he uses his infinite fastness to get away. So that's going to be really important for him to consider. Thinking about that, the Lam right now, if he wants to try to track down the low, it's going to be pretty hard. Trying to track down Mai is hard as well because Mai is very mobile. And if you want to target the Mozer, number 1, it's a roam. Number 2, he has the thing inside the box as well that can stop Lam when the Lam comes and try to take him out. So I'm not sure how effective the Lam will be.
Yeah, actually, just like what you mentioned just now, Lam is able to just dive inside and directly take down this Long. But at the same time, what there need to be caution, obviously, that the concern from DT Gaming, this Lam is this Long also have a pretty good ulti that will just increase the mobility of this hero. So it's able to just go inside and force out the ulti. After that, this Lam still can trade back, I would say that go back to themselves safe and soundly, and this is what they need to figure it out.
With the fact that they picked the Dia for DTE Gaming, their entire lineup lacks durability. The most durable hero is going to be the Dharma, but as a clash laner, sometimes you will be just doing your own thing at the clash lane. So with these 4 heroes going around the map, not much durability. So that means that DT Gaming, they're probably thinking of like, okay, we want to take the fight to BSE. We want to get pickoffs off the side lanes. Maybe that's what they're thinking. But whether that will be executed inside the game or not, ladies and gentlemen, we will find that out right now in this match. Black Shoe Esports versus DTE.
Yeah, actually, because we can find out that through this composition for BSE, there have a lot of heroes, a lot of skill that can slow down, I would say that stop DT to open up a team fight. So actually for this, there need to, I would say that DT need to be more careful.
But if they're able to snowball, then they would have a good advantage because they have a decent amount of damage with the Lam, with the Channel, and they're well supported by like the Dia and the Yuhuan as well. So they must have the first advantage. They must look for their first blood. They must look for a few kills after that at the very early stage for them to snowball to the theory of what we just said.
Yeah, they need to just seek for some opportunity or say that find some chance to make them have a more comfortable farming zone. So actually for DT, they just can do something like, I would say that during the team fight, maybe they will just all in all the things. My Lam and my Dharma just go to your back line to try to take down some things, or I would say that try to take down your Long, because we know that for these conversations, your core is long. But at the same time, DT Gaming, when they're just fully decked out, or say that all into the team fight, who can protect this channel? Maybe Dia or maybe this Yuhuan. So for them, they need to, I would would say that you need to think about my team fight, who will be the first one inside, or who will be the people to take down the damage, because we know that in this composition DTE just not tanky enough comparing with BSE.
Yeah, that's what I worry, right? If DTE has a tank roam, say like a Zhang Fei, for example, right? Then at least you know that, okay, the Zhang Fei can be the engager. But the fact that they took a Dia and they take a jungle assassin, that's actually pretty soft. So I don't know how they're going to execute their plan. The only one that I can think of is that, okay, you have to move around the map, get pickoffs at the side lanes, then you snowball from there. Now, going for the pickup at the farm lane is going to be pretty difficult too, because obviously going up against the Long, JR, Infinite Vastness away easily. He's already at level 4, so farm lane will not be your priority. If you want to go for the clash lane, well, they're pretty durable. So I don't know about that. It's a pretty hard decision for DTE.
Yeah, and we also can find out that actually BSE just play in a normal way for them, because for BSE they just love to play in a really aggressive early game, no matter in what kind of conversation for them. So directly, I would say that for BSE they will just open up your jungle as fast as they can. But I would say that the only things that DTE need to be careful of it is they need to slow down this BSE to take down the small resources from them, because if BSE able to snowballing up the game, and DTE also will be really tough.
Okay, so I'll put up a bit of a positivity for DTE. At least they have a decent catch for the Mai with the Yuhuan. Not the best. It takes a while for it to channel, and potentially Zihong could step out of the range, but that is still their best bet. At least that's something. If not, they would have an even harder time. So maybe their best target approach is to try to get Zihong. But if you look at Zihong movement, he is not sticking in his lane. He's everywhere across the map, just like how a natural Mai would play. So how is DTE going to catch a pickoff here? At which lane? Who will it be?
Actually, I think that this will really rely on the communication of members DTE, because we know that for the visions, I would say that when this Zhihong, this Mai, they will just go around the whole map and try to find some engagement, just like right now.
Just like how they think inside the box instead to get it. And that is the first blood given towards Black Shrew Esports, when DT Gaming should have been the one to try to find their own first blood instead.
Yeah, right now I want to highlight two bad news to DTE. First one is right now BSE gained the first blood. And the second one is this first blood is this channel. So for DT gaining, this definitely will be a really bad news for this early game, because we know that BSE is just used to gain a lot of advantage during the early game, and when they are just take the advantage, they will try to maximum the advantage and just take down the common objective, or say that take down the turrets and open up your jungle. So this will be the things that DT need to worry right now, and at the same time, because of the goal leading from BSE, DT Gaming might have a
Yeah, they caught Yan. It's a roam though, not the best of target, but at least it's still something for them to kickstart things. Now they want to try to take down the middle tower. Zihong is still there, together with his teammate. They should be able to defend this. In fact, they will counter upon DTE right now, sending their bodies up front, where Zihong will be taken out by BB. It is still DT, but from the side, look who has arrived. It is going to be BSE Xiang coming in, giving his help up, but he's able to trade it off with 3 kills in the middle.
Actually, I would say that this definitely is a great drop from Xiang. Still continue, and they just directly kicked out Zun, and definitely after this engagement, it will be a 1-4 trade. We can find out that actually DTE just gained now the T1 mid turret from BSE, but at the same time, they'll just pay their life. So for this is worth it, I'm not sure, because right now BSE just took down the T1 from DTE.
I do admire the attempt of Zun to try to take down JR earlier on, knowing that he doesn't have the infinite vastness. The comms there was on point, but he didn't really have the numbers. But at the top, now 2-on-1. CM, where is he gonna go right now? He tries to flash away, but from the side there's Musang King to try to stop him from going bad. Lucky enough, he has his other teammates together with him. Safe for now.
Actually, right now, I think that DT still have the potential to win the team fight, but there are just lack of one perfect setup, I would say that, because we can find out that for just now team fight, DT also have enough of damage to fight against with BSE right now, but what we mentioned just now, the only worry, I would say that the only problem for DTE right now is, yeah, I'm able to burst out a lot of damage, I'm able to deck out a lot of damage and make a great stress to you, and I also able to take out some kill, but right now if I didn't do all the things, obviously they done all the things at a really first moment, and it will be the turn for BSE.
BSE might be looking for the next target, trying to take over the blue buff. He should be able to secure it. I don't see DT challenging for it. And BSE will take it out. Now waiting for the minions to arrive. They're looking at the bottom tower.
Yeah, actually right now we can find out that DT just choosing to do some split push. Try to just, we can find out that just in a really low HP for this.
Has destroyed a tower.
Yeah, that was pretty lucky there for BB. Able to step away. He does have his teammates to block out the damage for him. But the bigger question is that when it comes to team fights, when it comes to engagement, like how we said earlier on, how are they going to tank this?
Yeah, we can find out that this team fight is just for Shang just directly dive into the back line of DTE and take down Rano. And I would say that it is a great engagement because the very first is DTE open up this team fight and fight for the opportunity.
Whoa! JR with the flaming palm from the back. I heard the flash, but the flash will not save him. The flaming palm is a very long single shot, and with that, the BSE has the opening to take down the top tower.
Blue team.
Oh, actually for them, also pretty, I would say that top one for DT gaming just now. Actually, for right now, BSE just proved that right now JR have enough damage. This long can able to deck out a fully damage. Because we know that right now, although it's only a 9 minute. For DT gaming, okay, we can just go through this replay. Definitely, it's just now the team fight that we missed. Oh.
Yeah, if we look at this replay, right, like DTE, we can see they're quite split. Like, Chun wants to go in, but his other teammates cannot. They were pushed back by the members of BSE, and that engagement kind of failed. But speaking about engagement, we're going to see another engagement in the middle. We have Xiang right at the forefront, trying to chase down the members of DTE. Hao makes a little bit of a U-turn, but he's in a very dangerous position. Lucky enough for him, BSE, they're not prepared to take him down because they don't have Musang King together with them.
Yeah, actually, because this is what we mentioned just now. Actually, for DT, they have the potential to win the team fight, but is it they are able to set up a perfect moment? Obviously, they set up a perfect team fight in a really, I would say that crucial moment, because they need to do all the things within 1 second. They need to do, because I want to dive inside the backline, take down your members, and we can find out right now.
Oh, okay, BB still managed to get overlord, but Chun got traded back. Now BSE, they have the man numbers. They're going on to JJ. JJ, stop every strike, thanks to thing inside the box. And not only JJ, they even got Hao at the same time. 3 players from DTE, all taken now from 1 overlord fight. Musaki is looking for BB right now. BB, is he able to get away? Cannon blast from the side to stop his track, but BB is still able to slide away from danger.
Yeah, actually we can find out that this maybe will be the moment to let BSE take down the still continue and just take down the BB, and Rampage goes too long.
And now by BSE taking down the middle tower, it's just a matter of time till the minions come in. But DTE, 3 of their players currently back, playing without BB. Xiang at the forefront. Look at the damage that Xiang is able to absorb. He's so tanky at this point. With Musaki going all in. Speaking of all in, check out the back line. It's going to be Sun going in, but Sun is not able to withstand the wrath of BSE. And Black Shoe Esports takes home game number 1.
actually throughout the whole game we can find out that both of them also perform really amazing, but just go back to the problem from DTE is there is not tanky enough to fight against with BSE for this kind of compositions. But we can find out that for the last team fight, BSE just performed so well, and we also find out that why this Clash heroes will be so popular in our game, tanky enough and with a really high damage. It is crazy.
Oh yeah, that's why you need to always have some form of a tank hero. Like early on, we saw like for BSE, Xiang was like the guy who's like, okay, I'll go front, I'll jump front, I'll initiate, I will flash forward, I will do all the sexy stuff, and at the same time, he'll try to bait out skills from DTE. Now, this is also the role of a tank, right, ladies and gentlemen, whereby it's not only about just absorbing damage for the sake of absorbing, but you want to try to bait out those skills. And when the communications are right, the skills are on cooldown, that's where a team can truly engage forward.
Yeah, actually we can find out that for the item build, because we know that they also have some gold lead for the BSE side, so definitely still will have some difference between the two games.
Yeah, it's quite significant, I would say, right? Like if we were to compare JR 9.3k versus Chichi 6.2k, 5 kills to JR, no kills to Chichi. Yeah, it's pretty big gap there. And speaking about the Chano pick, what do you think about the Chano pick this round?
Actually, for my personally, I think that Channel, is able to deck out a lot of damage if they're farmed up. But actually for this Channel, I think that you have a little bit disadvantage on this hero, because actually Channel is definitely, I would say that, easily to take down by the another side, especially for assassins. So for this kind of composition, BSE just have this Mai, so it is also a pretty great stress for this Channel in this game.
Yeah, if we were to look at the Chano's performance this round, when they talk about damage now, he's still the biggest damage dealer, but interestingly not able to get a single kill. Probably hoping for like the assassin Lam played by Zun Zun to be the finisher, but the fact that Zun Zun is not tanky enough and you don't have other tanks to absorb the damage or to just bait out those skills, Zun Zun was not able to go in as a finisher.
Yeah, actually, if this game DTE rumor just goes to Zhang Fei or Lian Bo, definitely DTE Gaming will have different of scenario in this game, because we know that have the hero that can soak in all the damage from BSE. But for this game, they just choose Diadia as a rumor, so definitely didn't have any hero that can absorb the damage. This is the biggest problem for DTE in this game.
Yeah, if we were to look at the graph, yes, most growth goes towards BSE, but towards the late game, it looked like DTE, they could come back because they did win some small skirmishes, but it was just too late by that time. The gap was just too far. The KDA difference is 13,533. 513.16, so it's quite big there. When it comes to the goal difference, it's about 6k, so it's not that bad. But with the fact that DTE, they're not able to take down as many towers as they would have wanted, they only got that one tower in the middle, they didn't even have the chance to access the jungle of BSE.
Actually, I will highlight that this one is the map controlling, or I would say the macro from BSE. They are able to just, when I get this objective, I would say that I will just gain the dragon, and I'm able to make this thing to help me to push in the game, because we know that actually for HOK it's still, I would say that's still a turret game, you know.
Well, what is still the king is our Mosang King here, ladies and gentlemen. The MVP this round with a KDA of 6, 1 and 6, a damage output of 27%, damage taken 24%, and total goal of 23%. They're all within the 20-ish percentage mark. So this guy, he has been taking it up for himself, whether it's delivering the damage, taking the damage, or even getting the goal.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that this Agudo just do a lot of things. I can deck out the damage, at the same time I can absorb all the things from DTE, and when you give me the goal, and I will just do my mission in a perfect way.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. The Agudo is also a very popular hero nowadays. If we were to look at the current stat of the Agudo. It has been picked 17 times so far with a win rate of 59%. And obviously, with the fact that Musaki played the Agudo, this percentage would go slightly up. And I would expect to see more Agudos in the future.
Yeah, actually, because we know that for Agudo also quite popular for our current meta, or I would say that in our MKL, for Agudo, they'll just come into the game. I think like plus this game, it's something like 16 or 17 right now. So definitely, I think that Agudo will just have a highest appearance until our regular season and or until our playoff.
Yeah, expect that, right? It was just like just last month or something that Agudo was released. But looking back at highlights, some of the best moments here. During the early stage, it was quite 50-50. We can see that these teams go back and forth. But look at the engagement by Xiang, coming in from the flank all alone, just popping DTE from going back, allowing his other teammates to still dish out the damage. And he got at least 3 kills from that middle engagement.
Yeah, actually, because we can find out that DTE just keep searching for some opportunity to try to let themselves to have some, I would say, that chance to take down some resources. But unfortunately, BSE didn't give a lot of opportunity for this DTE to shine. So actually for DTE, it is quite stressed. I would say that quite tough for the whole game because they didn't have the hero that can absorb a lot of things from BSE. So I think that for the next game, they need to figure it out. During the BP, is it I need to do something on it? Is it I need to go for some heroes that more tanky, obviously that tanky enough and have the sustain and able to help me to deck out a lot of damage, but at the same time also can absorb a lot of things, just like the Agudo.
Yeah, the Agudo, the Byron, and if you want to add some level of perhaps tankiness depending on how you make the build, maybe even the pay, or maybe like even an Algrad. I mean, there's so many options that you can deploy as a tank, right? You still have the very popular Zhangfei as well that you can put into. So they still have a lot of options. I do hope that they consider to put some of that balancing act into the upcoming draft.
Yeah, definitely, because we can find out that, yeah, for DT Gaming, for the game 1, they'll just choose a composition, I would say that high risk and high reward. Yeah, if I go inside and able to do something, I will gain a lot of things. I would say that definitely I will make some difference between BSE, but however, high risk also at the same time. So for them, they'll just dive inside, is able to, they'll just take down the whole things. I would say that it's too risky for them.
Well, let's see what sort of risk they are willing to take here in draft game number 2. Starting off with the same ban as before for DTE, taking out the Luna and also the Dharma. The Mai will be given the respect ban by BSE. Arlie is open. Byron is out, so they know that DTE must be thinking of like, okay, we want to fix whatever that we did in game number 1 by picking a tank, potentially a Byron, and that's what BSE gave the respect ban. But the popular Arlie now is given the prior pick for DTE.
Yeah, and we can find out that BSE just goes to their comfort zone. I would say that Pei and Zhangfei. Definitely, they'll just give a hint to DTE Gaming. I will shut down this game as fast as I can right now. Because we know that actually BSE just really used to this Pei and they will just do a lot of things. They will just, I would say that before the level 4 for their marksman, this Zhangfei will just help their marksman. But after their marksman just in a comfort zone, in a comfort situation, and Zhangfei will just go with Pei and do some harassment on the jungle.
Okay, this is what I like from DTE, right? You have a bit more balance. So you have Agudo that can tank, can open up fights, and then you have the Sakir who can also start fights and at the same time sustain the team. So it's a bit more balanced here by DTE. Now BSE locks in the Mayan, giving them a lot of mobility as well. And we saw how Xiang is so good at flanking his opponents. So DTE Gaming, when they pick their Clash Trainer, they must pick something that they're able to match up with the Mayan in terms of pacing.
Yeah, actually, because I quite love this 3 picks from DT Gaming, the first 3 pick, because we know that Sakura also can help them to healing and just recover at a pretty short time. So I think that they can just buy more time for themselves for this kind of pick. And after that, we can find out that BSE just take away Sun Tzu and Alin, and at the same time, DT Gaming just goes to minimize their marksman.
And we can see BSE giving a prio ban to a lot of Clash laners, right? Not only the Byron, but also the Sun Tzu and the Alain. Now, the next best one that I'm thinking is like a Guan Yu, because the Guan Yu also has that level of mobility. At least you're able to face check Mayin and follow Mayin's pace whenever Mayin goes missing, and then you want to try to track down the Mayin. The Guan Yu is not too bad. And even if you're not in the position where you're tracking down Mayin, you can also be the one to engage from the back as well. So the Guan Yu is not a bad pick, I think, for DTE.
Yeah, actually, because we can find out that if Dar just goes to this kind of pick, their composition actually will quite complete. I would say that have control, have damage, and at the same time also have the people that open up a team fight. But we can find out that BSE just let Yixing just come into the game.
I wonder if BSE is going to play Protect the President. Lady Sun is available, and you have Yixing can protect with the World is My Board, and you obviously have the Zhangfei as the one of the best protectors or bodyguard for the Lady Sun. So that potentially might come up later on. Interesting enough, the channel was given the prio ban for DTE, not one of the most popular heroes to be picked, but they perhaps have their own reasons. But now coming to DTE, second phase pick here. So Clash Lane, perhaps a Guan Yu with that mobility. Let's see if they go for that.
Lady Jin, and there are just a lot of Charlotte in the game. So definitely I would say that is quite complete. I have the CC, and at the same time this Charlotte also will give a pretty great stress to the backliner of BSE, because we can find out that for this kind of composition, BSE will just try to play some Protect President.
Wait. Is this the first Luban? Wait, this is the first Luban in the MKL. First Luban. Finally, we get a new hero. Goes to the stats. Yay. Okay. Very interesting. So Luban, laning phase, very, very strong. Yeah, can keep a good distance, can deal the damage, and then you have the Zhangfei together with him to provide the Leaping Savior with the shield. Luban at the laning phase is solid.
Actually, this is a great one, and what I wanted to see, because we know that actually for another meta, Luban number 7 is a popular pick because they have the Luban Master, because Luban number 7 just lack of some mobility. But because of our meta, we didn't have this hero. So the appearance of Luban number 7 just I would say that quite less is a least pick. But right now we can find out this something like new hero for our MKL. I just really looking forward of it.
Absolutely right. This is the debut, ladies and gentlemen, of Luban number 7. Still waiting for his master though. In game number 2 between DTE and Black Shuri Esports.
Yeah, actually, because I would say that right now BSE will just use to do some harassment on the jungle, and you can find out that this jungle just directly go inside the jungle and just, I would say, that disturb the rhythm of Agudon.
Yeah, you just want to mess things up inside the jungle just because you're a Zhangfei, not because you know that you are tanky enough. But I doubt that he's able to steal away that jungle minion though. So it's more of like just putting that mental pressure perhaps at the very beginning, or just opening it up for JR, and JR gets the first jungle minion.
Yeah, and also we can find out that this Lady Jin just can't do anything. I just only can see that this Zhangfei and this Luban number 7 take away my resources, but the only things that I can do is just standing at there.
Oh, and with Zhehong there, Zhehong is not at level 4 yet, so he does not have the World is My Board. If it does have it, then maybe we might see JR going in for it. But also to consider the fact that Dian is also not at level 4, so they're taking a chill pill there.
Yeah, actually, I still want to highlight this pick of Luban number 7, not only because this is the first appearance, I would say that the debut of this hero, because we know that actually for this hero, they can do a lot of stress. I would say that just give a lot of tension during the late game when this Luban number 7 just farm up completely.
Wow, but look at the top there. CM being pushed in back. even though underneath his own tower, but Xiang and Musang King still press him. I mean, with that kind of pressing, how is he even going to get the farm priority at his own lane?
Basically, we can find out that actually BSE just gained a lot of lane priority for the side lane. And because we know that for the mid lane, just issue one man, maybe it's quite tough. But for the side lane, both of the side lane, BSE just gained a lot of things. The lane priority and for some small resources. So definitely it's a great step for them.
Okay, now if we were to talk about like the potential winning of a team fight between DT and BSE, right? Which one do you think has a better team fight capability?
Actually, for this kind of composition, I would think that it's kind of like 50-50 because we know that, we can find out that right now JR just taken down by Ali. First blood.
Again, a little bit late to the rescue, but they could potentially trade it back by taking 2 out of DTE. Beautiful rotation came from the side. Whirless my board deployed at the same time, and not only they got 2 kills, they got the tower together with it. So it's still BSE winning the fight.
Yeah, let us continue just now what I say for the half. You can find out that actually for the team fight, both of them just goes to a 50-50 situation because we know that DT also have enough damage. But I will say that during the early game, I will put more favor on BSE because it is a paid composition, and at the same time they have millions. Because we know that for this Luba number 7, they need some time to farming up. But for DTE, right now they have Ali. At the same time, during the late game, they have Charlotte to make some stress on the backliner of BSE. So actually, when they are just open up a team fight, it will be a 50-50 situation until one man goes down, either one of the sides, and maybe another side will just gain more things during the team fight.
Something to consider if you want to talk about like breaking the 50-50 is that BSE right now, they are ahead by about a K goal, and if they're able to secure this Tyrant, that would definitely give them a little bit more advantage. Both sides dancing around the Tyrant now, and we can see as well that the air support being deployed together with the Whirless my board. BSE get inside of it, but nobody from DTE in the Whirless my board caught. Now the Tyrant is still up for grabs. Is Sun Tzu going to go in for it? Sun Tzu, he does have the smite though, but he's not able to smite in time as Musa King got the smite in. Together with the Unbridled Outburst, they secured the Tyrant, and they at the same time secure the kill of the Chichi.
Okay, until this team fight, I will say that this engagement, the 50-50 balance will just broke out. For BSE, they'll just gain a lot of things after this engagement. I will say that they'll take down the dragon, at the same time take down the marksman from DTE. So this is a great news for BSE right now, because right now they just need to farm up, I would say that in a steady pace, safe and steady, and definitely they are just snowballing up the game, and DT will just in a really tough situation.
It's probably a matter of time till BSE takes the tower, the mid tower especially, or even the top tower. If they can take especially the mid tower, then you know that the jungle is open for BSE. Musa King showing himself, hoping to bait out the members of DTE, but DTE, they're not biting the bait yet. They're still at a rather safe farming phase.
Yeah, actually, because we can find out that right now DT just know that, I maybe will just suffer some loss when I'm playing team fight with you. So right now, what I need to do, I need to farm up quickly and try to take something from you, small resources, or I would say that the lane priority from you, and try to secure my T1 turret. Because we can find out that for both of the side T1 just take down by BSE, it definitely is the open up of the jungle for BSE. So for DT Gaming, they just try to secure their own resources. This is the main mission for them right now.
Oh, it's going to be harder for DT to secure their own resources now that BSE took down the top tower, and now they have access into the jungle side of DTE Gaming. They're playing towards the top side of the jungle because they want to stop DTE Gaming from having any chance of getting close to the Overlord. Now with the blue buff being stolen away with the Whirless board, caught one. Sun Tzu will be the first one to go down. BSE still running rampage in the jungle side of DTE.
Oh, this is definitely not a great news for DTE right now. Not only because of the goal difference, and at the same time, this is the kills from jungler. For jungler, and at the same time, your jungler is down right now, and you didn't have enough damage, or I would say that's sustainable right now. So BSE have this chance to just take down your T1 mid turret. So definitely, I think that for BSE, they're just... Ooh.
Well, it's Zhangfei. He does have the Leaping Savior ready anyway, so not too much of a worry there. He's able to even like draw out the members of DT. If DT went all in onto him, then it would have been a disaster because BSE can make a U-turn.
Actually, right now we can find out that BSE just take over the whole map, try to make some, I would say that try to boost up the farming phrase, let it Luban number 7 have more items. We can find out that right now Luban number 7 just have 2 main items right now, but actually for our Ali have the Blood Reaper and the Sparker Dagger, so actually for Ali also quite good. I would say that not much difference between both of the Marksman, and this will be a good news for DT Gaming. Maybe Daryl can open up a team fight, let this Ali gain some things, and y'all can just turn over whole things. Still have the potential, I would say that.
Okay. Because as long as they are not pushed back into their own base, I do believe as well that they do have the potential. Unless if Xiang can get a pick off here, he sees how face checking each other. Xiang Shu is look at this. Look at how naughty Xiang is. Come on, Xiang. Oh man. But with the fact that Xiang is behind and DT Gaming knows that he's there, like they'll be extra careful if they want to engage onto the other members of BSE.
Actually, we can find out that BSE just used this position to giving some stress on DT. I would say that, oh, you see my million just at here, I'm just giving some stress on you, and you want to open up a team fight, yeah, and my position is definitely advantage for me. I can just come inside your front liner and back liner at the same time. You can find out that they are just open up a team fight right now.
Oh yeah, with the Whirling Spike Ball earlier on, JR will be the first target. JR will be the first target for the hands of CM, but they trade it back, but they get out CM together with BB. Now the chase is on onto Xiang, but they have to let this one go because Musang King is still there. And with the fact that Musang King, his health is still pretty high. He can solo Pirate, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah, actually after this team fight, it will be a 2-2-2 trade. But BSE, yeah, honestly, they'll gain more because just take down this Tyrant. But this is what I wanted to highlight, or I wanted to mention is, this is what I mentioned just now. The potential of DT, they still have a high potential to win a team fight. Because, I would say, unless they'll just take down this early at the very first moment of the team fight, not DT actually have the potential to turn over the table.
But BSE themselves, they're taking this more slower approach as compared to game number 1. They really want to secure like the jungle area, take down good amount of objectives, and then maybe when we hit like the 15-minute mark, BSE will come in with a good team fight and then they will end the game. That's probably what they're thinking of right now. And speaking of securing objective, I wonder if they want to go for a double whammy, but maybe not. They gotta put focus onto the Tyrant now.
Because right now maybe they are still wanted to gain more advantage. I would say that gain the buff during the team fight, it might be more advantage to BSE. Or we can find out that the skill 2 from this Luban number 7, actually the accuracy is quite high for this Luban number 7. But you will see that until right now, team fight this Luban number 7 giving any stress on DT Gaming. Not really, because right now still is the rhythm, or say that's still on the hand of this pay. So definitely I'm still looking for some things happen for this Luban number 7 pick.
Yeah, his role with the shot cannon, not necessarily to hit his target and deal the damage. Sometimes the damage is just not that much, but it's just to also give information. Like he just releases the shot cannon. If it hits onto somebody like midway, then you know that somebody is that in that particular area. So it's used as a scouting tool as well for BSE. Now speaking about BSE, they're knocking on the doors of DTE Gaming. It's a matter of time till like if they're able to get a pick off, then they will go all in to take down the whichever turrets that's left on the side of DTE.
Yeah, actually because we can find out that right now DT just play in a really passive way, just definitely just waiting for BSE come and just clean the wave. But at the same time, I also do not like to play a team fight with BSE. But actually I think that DT need to do something to slow down BSE right now. Although I know that it is possibly the possibility to win the team fight is quite low, but never try, never know, I would say that.
Yeah, I guess at this point, you really need to like take a bit of risk, but calculated risk, of course. The fact that the calculation does not favor DT at all, it's maybe like a 5% or 10% chance of win, and maybe that's why they're not thinking about making the engagement yet. But maybe BSE is the one to make the engagement. World is my ball, we catch Zun Zun inside of it, and Dan is just walking beside Zun Zun, not really putting too much focus onto him. Their objective is just to shoo away the members of DTE.
Yeah, they just wanted to take some space to take down this red buff. So actually DTE Gaming just not play, I would say that will not play such a huge risk with BSE right now. But until right now, we can find out that BSE just goes to this overlord. Definitely, they all just want to try to shut down the whole game. Because we know right now, there are only 2 high ground turrets left for DTE Gaming right now. So it is quite tough, I would say.
Yeah, it doesn't help that right now the Shadow Vanguard has been spawned and is going to run down the mid lane. It's going to be even harder for DTE now. BSE, they're saving all their skills, all their outs for this moment when the Shadow Vanguard arrives. As DTE, they know that. So right now they're in a full defensive stance inside their own base.
Yeah, actually for BSE, by using this overlord to take down the high ground, is the things, I would say that the basic things after this
Red team
after they take down this Shadow Overlord, maybe they cannot take down the whole game, I don't know, because we know that right now they have the Shadow Vanguard and at the same time have the Circle Minions. But for DT Gaming, they can stand for this engagement, I would say that this stress after the Overlord.
DTE is still trying to defend the ground. The bottom tower now is going to be the next target for BSE. World is my board. Managed to have 3 members from DTE. BSE, they might jump in anytime soon, but World is my board now expired. Anyway, the objective taken by BSE. Tower down. Unbridled Outburst will be used by Jen. At the same time, CM from the side tries to find an advantage, but he can't find it because Xiang is still there to stop him from coming in with the flank.
Well, I would say that actually just now DT Gaming tried to find some opportunity, try to seek for some chance, but just now this engagement from Dian is definitely perfect timing, because we can find out that DTE Agudo just put inside, smash inside, wanted to open up a team fight, but then directly used the ulti, push back all the members from DTE Gaming. BSE Gaming just play in a really steady pace for this game.
Yeah, very steady, very objective driven, right? Like so far, if we talk about objective of taking down the Tyrant and the Overlord, BSE got all of them. DTE stood no chance to even try to take one out of BSE.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, we can find out that for BSE right now, they are just trying to, I take down the common objective, I take down the resources and just play in a safely ways with you. So definitely maybe I will just shut down the whole game in a long period, I would say that. Make this in a long game.
And look at this. World is my board, and get 5 of the members of DTE. DTE, where are they going to go? Where are they going to run? Because Xiang is at the back. Xiang is there. Xiang underneath the crystal. Not going to be a problem for him. He managed to get a couple of kills out of a member of DTE. And that is where BSD will end the game with a clean 2-0.
Wow, I would say that this is a great one for BSE, and actually we can see another phase of BSE, because we know that BSE is just well-known, play in a really fast pace, really quick rhythm, and definitely we will find out that in this game, BSE just showed another BSE to us. I also can play in a really steady ways. I would say that I will more keep an eye on the macro and the map controlling after I take over the whole map, take down the whole game, and I will make I would say that I will shut down the whole game. Y'all just play in a really safe and soundly ways.
Yeah, and although this draft is a little bit more balanced for DTE, but we hardly see any engagement by them. While we look at some of the numbers here, looking at DTE, they only managed to get 3 kills in this round. So JJ got 2 and CM got 1. But that's pretty much about it. I mean, for the others, well, don't really expect like the Agudo, like the Lady Sun, or maybe like the Sake to get any kills. But then again, as a team, they had a hard time even starting fights with BSE.
Yeah, actually we can find out that for the whole situation right now, actually it is quite, I would say that it is in the control of BSE, and definitely for DT Gaming, I would say that it will not be a bad news for them, because actually they are also gain something. But when they are just facing this kind of map, controlling this kind of macro, how they can just fight against with this kind of strategy? This is what they are can looking forward of it. Obviously, that need to figure it out.
Yeah, and we would look at like the top damage dealers. So BB is the highest damage dealer, and then we have JJ as the second highest damage. It's okay. Zun Zun tanked a lot in this round, the highest tanker with 109.7k. He did a lot of tanking work. But I guess if we were to look at the overall game, he did tank, the numbers don't lie. But if we only had the stat for like numbers of engagement, DTE Gaming, they were not able to engage at all. And I guess one of the reasons is that because of Xiang's positioning, he's always at the back. He's always checking on a potential flag by CM. So that's number one. Number two, if there's no potential flag by CM, he's the one putting the psychological damage towards his opponent, DTE. So they cannot engage knowing that Xiang was always behind them.
Yeah, actually what I wanted to highlight in this stage is this Zhihong, and we can find out that the damage dealt from him is really crazy. I know playing Yixing, having a huge damage and having a good opening of the team fight is normal, but this is quite crazy. And at the same time, in the composition, I have the Luba number 7, have to pay, but this Yixing goes to the highest damage dealt.
And we were to look at the graph as well. This is pretty much a steady graph towards a BSE, because this round they take it a little bit slower this time, but slow and steady wins the race, they say, right? Look at DTE, not able to get a single objective, no Tyrant, no Overlord, no towers even for DTE. So slow but steady wins the race for BSE.
Yeah, actually we can find out that in the whole game, this BSE just act like a dominator, take down all of the objective, take down all of the things. Yeah, DT just try to fight with BSE, but nothing they can do, especially for the early game. I still remember that BSE just let this Zhangfei just go inside to make some harassment of the jungle and just disturb the Agudo farming phase. So definitely this is a great strategy from BSE, and it might be a great problem in the early game for DT Gaming is that they are able to secure their resources.
But the problem is definitely not Xiang, as he's our MVP with a KDA of 502, damage 18%, damage taken 20%, and total goal of 22%. And it is all about his positioning, his psychological damage dealt to DTE Gaming by staying all the time behind them, showing himself, base checking them, also blocking CM from coming with the flank at the same time. All that dirty work is done by Xiang.
Because we can find out that in the team fight, no matter it's the team fight or the farming phase for DT, this Xiang just keep appear at the back line of DT. I would not doing anything, but I'm stunning on you. I will just seek for some opportunity and make some stress on you. So for DT, they are just find out that, oh, Xiang is at here. I can't open up a team fight with BSE for this moment.
Yeah, you know what they call that? Emotional damage. Yeah, and with that was good enough for what he did, right? But at the same time, he got like 5 kills together with it. So it's practical damage and also emotional damage to come together with it. Anyway, looking at the highlights here, all the way BSE engaging onto DTE. You know what, to a certain extent, maybe BSE was also thinking to themselves that, DTE, when are you going to engage? If you don't want to engage, I will be the one to engage with you. And after engagement, they win, and they win the entire series.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, we also can find out that for just now, we just highlight Xiang. It is so important during the whole in-game. It not only giving the stress because I'm Mayan, I'm able to open our team fight and able to do something of your backliner. At the same time, I also let you just figure out, let DT just have some hesitation. Is it I safe to open up this team fight? Xiang is standing here. and they are just, I would say, that missed the good opportunity to open up a team fight.
Yeah, so that may be the case, right? Because they didn't really like push back BSE, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So the 2-0 given to them. Next up, we have one more series, ladies and gentlemen. We have O2 Esports versus AG Global coming next. Again, it is a day of David versus Goliath, but can O2 Esports overcome the Goliath?
Yeah, actually, I quite looking forward for this game because just now we can find in the short video. AG just say that I don't know what is O2 Esports. The only things that I know that is today I will being the 2 and you being the O. So definitely I will find out that AG Global have a huge confidence to fight against with this O2.
Yeah, and at the same time, right, O2, they respond by saying that, oh, AG, oh, you are nothing without like a JD or something like that. But yeah, we'll probably review that later on during the break, ladies and gentlemen. But it's definitely a match that we'll be looking forward to see that whether O2 Esports can actually make an upset against AG. Because let's not forget, although the name O2 Esports is new this season in MKL, but their players are not new to the scene of HOK Esports. They have played at international stage before. So we look forward to this matchup between O2 Esports and AG Global coming up next. But before that, we're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you guys after this break.
Bye.
Hugging stings. Victory.
Yeah. Another round. Sure, but how about a smoother phone next time?
Realme 14, performance beyond limits.
Rakan muda, coba kita munimu. Rakan muda, oh yeah. Bersemangat wajah terus berusaha, keazaman terus membara. Yakin boleh, rakan muda, rakan muda.
Eyes are so complicated.
Only the weak worry about humiliation.
Enemy has been slain.
I come from wealth and pave my road with gold. The world is mine to discover.
As a blade can be straight or curved, deeds are just or crooked.
A single flute casting shadows and spirits, descending upon the martial world. With the might of stones, I shall crush my foes.
Your little business isn't worth my time. I smirk at people's greedy nature, for the fleeting fortune shall be their dark future. Hey! Fistfuls of gold!
Hugging stinks. Victory!
Yeah! Another round. Sure, but how about a smoother phone next time?
Realme 14, performance beyond limits.
Rakan muda, coba cintamu nimu. Rakan muda, oh yeah. Bersemangat wajah terus berusaha, keasaman terus membara. Yakin boleh, rakan muda, rakan muda.
Eyes are so complicated.
Only the weak worry about humiliation.
Enemy has been slain.
I come from wealth and pave my road with gold. The world is mine to discover.
As a blade can be straight or curved, deeds are just or crooked.
A single flute casting shadows and spirits, descending upon the martial world.
With the might of stones, I shall crush my foes.
Darkness, the precursor to light.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our MKL Spring Season 2025 Victory Day 2. And we are going to having our last match for the day. O2 Esports play against AG Global.
Well, it's a pretty early day, but then again, the action has been fast here today as well. So O2 Esports versus AG Global coming up next. What's going to be interesting is that O2 Esports, again, as we mentioned before the break, though they sound like, oh, this is a new team, new org in the MKL, but their players used to play for Weibo 79 in last year's EWC, so they have international exposure. But of course, same goes for AG Global as well. They played in the recent S3. So we can also say that based on paper, to a certain extent, these two teams have their own credentials.
Actually, we can find out that both of the team also quite experienced, because we know that just like what Circle mentioned just now, most of the player is from Weibo Gaming. And actually, I think that right now, O2 Esports just suffer the same problems with Seoul Esports. They need to do something to save themselves from the standing right now, because we know that maybe it is out of their expectation, because most of them is an experienced player. So maybe they are just didn't mean to I would say that they will not think that, oh, I will suffer in this kind of problem, but right now they need to solve it. But definitely they still have the potential to fight against with AG Global.
And here are your teams with that potential, ladies and gentlemen. O2 Esports represented by K1, Gongling, Care, X1, and White versus AG Global represented by Saber, Yulong, Daohan, JD, and PHY.
Yeah, actually, because we know that for AG Global, they are just fight against with BSE yesterday, so they are just suffer a failure yesterday. But I trust that it will not be a great problem for them. So I actually still looking forward for some interesting BP, or we say that fresh things from this AG Global.
Oh yeah, hopefully we get to see a fresh new hero as well, because we saw Luba number 7 in the previous round. So that's one new hero into the chart. So there's still a long list of heroes left that have not been picked in the MKL here. So the names that I can put out is like Milady, like Atta, like Li Bai, like Sima Yi, and so on and so forth. There's just so many of them. But before we get on to that, of course, we're going to compare the two players from each respective team. We have White representing O2 and Saber representing AG.
Actually, we can go through the whole state. Both of them, I would say that just 50-50. They all have their own, I would say that, own stronger things, because we can find out that the average assist Saber just take more than this White. And for the average damage taken, also quite huge difference between both of them, because we can find out that this definitely proof that Saber just always be the frontliner and have to absorb all the damage during a team fight or during some engagement.
Yeah, and I also like that the fact that White has a higher hero pool as compared to Saber, 8 heroes being used by him. So it just shows that the depth of his hero pool here in the MKL. Hoping for that number to go up though, not only for White, but also for Saber and also for the others, because if it goes up, then potentially we might see a new hero be introduced here in the MKL. So it's something that we look forward to seeing as well. And overall, if we were to see, of course, as these stats here, the glaring one, if you ask me, is the average assist. It does favor onto Saber, so we can expect him to be more involved in team fights coming up next based on those numbers.
Yeah, actually, after that, we can find out that for both of the team, they are just have I would say that quite common play style when they are just meet some of the team that neck to neck. So for right now, we know that O2 just suffering in the problem of the standings, but for this AG Global, they are just act like a dominator during our MKL, one of our titans throughout the whole tournament. So whether they can overcome this stress and just having a great fight with AG Global is what O2 Esports wanted this kind of situation happen.
Yeah, hence it is the David versus Goliath, ladies and gentlemen. But let's check out what their draft will be in game number 1. Starting off with the Lady Sun being banned out. This is the first Lady Sun banned today.
Yeah, actually, because we can find out that Lady Sun's quite popular, having a really high picks, but at the same time, it's not really will be banned out during the first ban phase. And at the same time, we can find out that this Luna is still taken away from our game.
Yeah, you don't want to give Yulong the Luna, right? So totally understandable. We have seen it before. He's very, very good with it. So you want to take that one out. DRNG out as well. So looks like they don't want to give marksmen to O2 Esports. They're going to keep Ali for themselves. But there's still like a couple of other marksmen, including the Marco Polo, which in my opinion is not too bad. But you must have a very, very good execution and someone to maybe lock teams or players in for the Marco Polo to be effective. Something like a Yixing might be something that O2 Esports ought to consider. But because they picked the Mashira Nui as a prior pick, so the Yixing will not be in the game for O2.
Yeah, and actually we can find out that right now O2 Esports just takes both of the hero Dharma and Mai, quite popular for our MKL. At the same time, we can find out that for AG Global just goes to Yuan and Byron. So definitely, I would say that until right now, both of the team just having some safe pick and just, I would say that quite stable and quite complete for the first 3 pick. And Chano come inside our games again.
Okay, what do you think about the Chano pick? Today we haven't get to see the best of Chano, but do you think Chano is a good pick here for O2?
Actually, I think that for Chano, it is a good pick because we know that Chano is able to deck out a lot of damage at the same time. But the only problem that O2 Esports need to solve that there needs some tank. No doubt will just suffer a same situation just like just now.
Yeah, they haven't picked their roamer yet, so we can expect that to be a pick for them. If they go for a roamer, a tank roamer, then they can go for something a little bit more balanced, like maybe like a fighter style or like an assassin style as their jungler, because they have that. Without the Zhangfei, they will naturally go for the Lampo, which is the other tank in the roam list for the roam, that is. So yeah, so Lampo, straightforward pick there to protect the channel.
Yeah, quite okay, can protect the president at the same time, also can just absorb all the damage as a frontliner. I would say that it is quite good and it definitely will just let this Mai and Dharma have more space to give some stress to AG Global. But definitely we can find out that for AG Global they have hardly such a mobility heroes. So for AG Global maybe they can just go for, I would say that they have enough damage right now. Byron also can be a damage deck out, but at the same time, they are just show Kongming to us.
Okay, Gongming, Algran, okay, lots of durability there. And what we expected by O2 Esports is that since they already have the Lampo, that can be their main tank, and Dharma is kind of durable as well, so you can go for something more assassin-ish, a bit more pace. So went for the Musashi instead. So the Musashi might have the objective of trying to take down the Arlie, because Arlie naturally will stay behind, and the Arlie is also very, very slick as well. The Musashi will be a good one to try to catch the Arlie.
Yeah, great one, because we know that ulti from Musashi is able to lock down one of the member. So definitely if O2 Esports this Musashi, Kongling have the opportunity to lock down this Arlie, it will be I would say the bad news for AG Global during the team fight.
Well, let's see, will it be a bad news or will it be a good news, ladies and gentlemen? There's going to be game number 1 here. David versus Goliath. It is going to be AG Global versus O2 Esports.
Yeah, basically we can find out that AG Global just sweep their lane. Arlie just goes to the top lane and let this Byron fight against with this channel.
Yeah, so a bit of a swap lane here. And because of this swap lane, that will also allow like the Arlie to gain more momentum at its own lane, because you're talking about like putting a melee hero versus a range hero that has the support together. So it would definitely do well at the clashing side.
Yeah, so actually for both of the team, I think that because they all need to let their match to form up, so they will just play in a stable pace, but actually they also will do something during the early game. Not big, but small engagement definitely will happen. And especially for O2, they all need to let this channel, need the Musashi to gain more advantage. I would say that have a good farming phrase. So definitely this Lampo will just act as a protector of these two heroes.
K1 tries to fight back with the mantra, but because JD he has Saber together with him. It was 1v1, then K1 could probably win that one, but because Saber is there, so K1, that's the best that he could get.
Yeah, so we can find out that, wow, first blood just happened. Take down Kong Ming.
Okay, this is what they need, this is what they want. Getting the first blood for themselves, O2 Esports. Funneling the first blood towards the Musashi, so that is an important hero for them to scale. Now Yulong will absorb a bit of damage, but from the back it's going to be White stopping him at his track. But with Saber there again providing extra support, Yulong will be let go.
Yeah, so after this Kong Ling take down the Kong Ming, so definitely I think that for O2 Esports, it is a great start for them because we know that if Musashi gains some advantage, it definitely can boost up, I would say, that initial the game. But I think that there still need to be careful for one thing is AG Global, because this Outground tried to steal a lot of small resources from O2 Esports, but O2 Esports just pay back the same things to AG Global.
Yeah, he has to be extra careful with parcel passing. But speaking about careful, PHY, extra careful there. Takes a decent amount of damage by Care, but Yulong is there to attack him. Yulong will be the one to absorb the damage. Yulong taking it in, allowing PHY to recover at the lane.
Yeah, we can find out that this Outground really tanking enough, damage is enough, and sustain enough. One man plays against two, and they still have a really good HP, good condition to trip back. Actually, I think that this is one of a sign for O2 Esports. Right now, both of them didn't have a huge goal lead. I would say that the goal difference is quite similar. So I think that after the 4 minutes timing, it will be really important for both of them to try to make some difference happen on the goal lead.
Yeah, and the 4-minute mark is where the Tyrant and also the Overlord will be up. So we can expect these two teams to dance around the next objective. So far, not setting up yet for the Tyrant, but maybe the Overlord. Unless if O2 Esports gets a pick off right now, then they will immediately set up for the objective. But because of they have not found that one yet, AG Global, they will find the opportunity to set up themselves for the Tyrant. They're around it, they probably have started it now.
Yeah, because we can find out that AG Global just take down the lane priority of the mid lane and directly goes to the Tyrant. And right now,
There with Dao Hen at the back, he's trying to protect his teammates. At the same time in front, did you see the Timber Smash? Looks like O2 Esports, they're winning this fight, they're looking for more. Saber is the one in trouble next. O2 Esports, they lost the Tyrant, but they gained 2 kills in the fight.
good one for Kong Ling, double kills. And
straight jump all the way to the back line, finding Dao Hen pretty low, and Dao Hen has to back off. Whew. There was a close one for Dao Hen.
This is out of our expectation actually, because we know that for AG Global have a really good in-game, really good. I would say that they are stacked up the momentum in a really good situation. But after they are take down the Tyrant, they are open up a chance, opportunity for this Musashi to take down the double kills, and at the same time, the engagement is not finished yet, and let this Care just dive inside. Although Care also paid their life, but they were able to take down the T1 turret from AG Global. It is a great start for O2 Esports.
Yeah, the fact that within the 5th minute you've taken down the T1 tower in the middle, it will allow you access into the jungle fairly early, and that's what O2 Esports is doing right now. The moment they did that, they saw Dao Hen, but because Dao Hen is still pretty tanky, so they cannot go all in committing onto him yet. But in the middle, we might see Yulong here trying to bait out the members of O2 Esports. They're around. They're coming in. They see Yulong together with PHY. Yulong will be the next target, and Yulong might not be able to survive this, but Yulong somehow still able to survive. He is tanky enough, showing that he's able to absorb that damage at the same time, healing himself up. But yeah, shows out the finish of Yulong. Gong Ling is the one next in trouble. Gong Ling stays away, puts himself in the safety position. The rest of O2 Esports coming in to seek another kill, but they have enough.
Again, 2 men goes down at the AG Global side, and definitely let O2 Esports just have the chance to snowballing up. And here right now is the 1-to-1.
T1! Whoa! JD got it! But from the side, Gong Ling appears again! The Musashi by Gong Ling! Now rampaging across the map with a KD of 501!
Wow, this Musashi is crazy right now. Definitely Kongling just gain a lot of things, gain a lot of kills, and for every time, every second that the teammates need this Musashi, and this Musashi will just come in a crucial moment. This is a really great represent on the communication of O2 Esports in this game.
And Gongling himself is ahead of Yulong, apple-to-apple comparison by about 1k gold difference. Looking good so far for Gongling. He has to maintain the consistency now.
Yeah, I think that because for this kind of conversations, we know that Musashi will not so good during the late game comparing for right now. They are just gain a lot of advantage, and we can find out that still find some opportunity to make some stress on AG Global right now.
White use his Tremor Smash, so they don't have the Tremor Smash to engage. Instead, it's going to be Downhand re-engaging onto O2 Esports. Yulong will get Gongling. That's their key hero. They know that without Gongling, they can try to run over the members of O2 Esports now.
Wow, I would say that this one is a big present for AG Global because they're just take down Kongling. Kongling definitely is the big brother for O2 Esports right now. So I would say that this is one of a moment that AG Global can try to chase back the goal difference, because right now we can find out that after this kills that Kongling give to AG Global, and AG Global now only have a really slightly difference with this O2 Esports.
Yeah, about 200 to 300 in terms of goal difference. Okay, this blue buff will be important. I don't see O2 Esports challenging for it. AG Global, they will secure the blue buff, but they will make their engagement onto AG Global. K1 gets down hand. One of the big attacks. Yulong as well. So AG Global now with the 2 tanks down. They cannot continue to re-engage into O2 Esports.
Wow, until right now, I would say that this O2 Esports just impressed me a lot, because we can find out that every time maybe, right now we can find out that JD just goes so deep into O2 Esports.
Yeah, he split himself out from his teammates, probably opening the space for his other teammates to retreat, but then again putting himself in a dangerous position where O2 Esports capitalized on.
Yeah, I would say that today this O2 Esports just show us a different O2 right now, because we can find out that in this game they are just take over the whole map, and they are able to just playing in a really calmly mindset. I would say that I know that you are taking a blue buff, and I will not take the risk to steal your blue buff away, but I just wait soundly at the bushes. Let us see right now.
Yeah, they see Gongling.
Yeah.
But then again, Gongling right now, he's very strong. He's at level 13 right now. Way ahead of the other members of AG Global. AG Global has to play catch up. And Gongling, very confident. Look at the damage of the Saber, cutting him down to 50% of health. They see Yulong at the side. Now with the Tremor Smash being deployed as well. Try to get Yulong, but Yulong managed to evade that. Yulong is not the target. They don't want to deploy the Tremor Smash on, since he's the tank for the team of AG Global. They try to counter by the Gongling, but Gongling is also not easy for them to take him down as they target onto White now. And White naturally becoming a tank, or naturally as a tank, he will be able to withstand that.
Actually, I wanted to highlight the strategy that O2 Esports performed in this game. They'll just play in a really safely way, and right now dive inside to the back line.
Okay, why got PHY? Okay, that's the opening for O2 Esports that they're looking for. Gongling gets JD! That's a big one there! And they're trying to look for the other members of AG Global. They try to chase down Saber, but they turn around. They see Downhand. Downhand is going to be the next target. It's going to be a 3v1. Where is Downhand going to go? Come back here, Downhand! Come back here! Gongling, he loves you more!
Only one Saber online right now. This definitely is a big win of this big engagement from O2 Esports. We can find out that for today, O2 Esports just act like a dominator and play in a really steady mindset. I know that I wanted to take down these resources, and I know that when I open up a team fight, what I need to do right now, I just mash inside your backliner, take down your car like Kongling, like Ali. I just take down I would say that the main damage maker from AG Global. And when you lose this damage maker, and you definitely will not win the team fight, and I just take down you one by one. Crazy.
And look at this. Gongling already has like 8 kills to his name. He's carrying the team right now. They have to keep Gongling alive. They have to make sure that Gongling does not fall to the hands of AG Global. In fact, if AG Global
Red
at this
team
point, if
has
they're
destroyed
able to
the tower.
somehow take down the Gongling, the fight will be wide open for them.
Well, I would say that for this game, O2 Esports just shows a different O2 Esports to us, and at the same time, we can find out that there are just.
Oh, Gongling! Think about that. He almost came from the side to make that initiation, but the initiation will be by White at the forefront. They're putting a lot of pressure on the AG Global. O2 Esports showing the level of discipline that they have. They will stop their push. They will reset back now.
Yeah, definitely we can find out that O2 Esports, I think they will just try to clean up the jungle, take down all the resources, and maybe plan A, I seek for a team fight, open up a team fight. Plan B, I just take down the Overlord and just, because now is the matter of times for O2 Esports, they can just play steadily, but right now they are just trying to take down the whole high ground turret. Oh!
Well, at the bottom, at the top as well. Two fights happening at the same time. DH1, JD, downhand, all down. Looks like O2 Esports might be able to wrap things up. They need to take down Saber. They need to take down Yulong and they will be gone. But now it's all about pushing in the minutes for O2 Esports. But at the same time, they don't have Kongling together with them. This could be the opportunity for AG Global to fight back. But the ones that's left alive is a tank. SA Rome. They need the damage output. But here comes O2 Esports making a U-turn onto them. And O2 Esports will be able to get Yulong. They need the manpower. Saber is the one to try to hold them off as long as possible. But then again, who's going to stop O2 Esports at this stage? They even up the score 1-1.
This is what wanted to seek for it. The miracle is happening right now because we can find out that throughout the whole game, O2 Esports just lead the whole game, take down the whole map, having a really, really great map controlling, just showing that, hey, you say that I'm the 2, you are the 2, and I'm the O, but I want to prove that I also can take down one in the game, or even though I can just take down the whole match up. I have the potential, O2 Esports just said it.
Yeah, they believe in themselves, and this draft is a lot more better, a lot more balanced, as they have the Lampo as a tank that would take care of the channel. Okay, that's fine. But because they already had that tank, they decided to okay, let's bring a little bit more damage by picking the Musashi, and that was a great pick by them. The Musashi, no doubt, he must be the MVP. If he's not, I'm out of here.
Oh, me too. I would definitely just give my favor to this Musashi. Let us see that this KDA 9-2-3, it is crazy, and just have a really big damage deck out, and at the same time give a lot of stress of AG Global. We can find out that every team fight there just directly go into the back line, take down JD, take down PHY, and make AG Global didn't have the damage maker. So let O2 Esports have the priority to take down team fight. This is a great one.
Yeah, we will look at the PHY as well. He didn't have a good round. His KDA is 052. We didn't get to see the best of him bringing the impact in this round. And looking over at some of the other post-game stats as well, Gongling highest damage down, no surprises there. Not too far away from Care and also X1. So you can also see that his other teammates are starting to scale. So even if they drag the game a little longer, if it's no longer Gongling, if Gongling gets taken out, they can still depend on Care and X1.
Actually, we can find out that 5 of them just play in a really steady ways, because we know that for them, maybe they are just used to go up and I just open up a team fight, I fully deck out, all in, but at last, I just lose the team fight. This is what scenario they are just find out previously. Maybe they are just figure out the ways to solve this problem. And definitely in this in-game, we can find out that they are have the, I would say that they are have the ways to open up a team fight in a really good situation. Okay, I let Kongling in the game first, and X1 just stay at the backliner doing some damage output, and at the same time my Care also can open up a team fight Dharma, giving some stress. It is really good.
Although throughout we see O2 Esports having good control, but it's actually pretty balanced until the 9-minute onward, when O2 Esports had the spike, and that's how they won this game all the way down, because one of the main reasons they allowed Gongling to scale, they allowed Gongling to get the pickouts. But we got to give credit to Gongling as well. that, we have to give credit to the Musashi as well, apologies there, that he's able to get early game pickoffs for himself to scale, and because of those early game pickoffs, his other teammates have the room to farm.
Yeah, this is what we highlight always. Like we say that this Musashi and this channel need a really, really great surrounding to farm up. Let us see that this MVP just goes to Kongling Musashi.
Yeah, definitely, right? Without a doubt. 923 KDA, damage output 25%, damage taken 24%, and a total goal of 22%. I mean, he is the catalyst for the team to win this round. And because of his very active movement, he make the right decisions, he get those early kills in, his other teammates have the room to farm, and they're able to scale towards the late game.
Yeah, this is a really, really good one for O2 Esports because we can find out that this Musashi always can help their teammate. Yeah, because we can find out that one small engagement at the top lane and Kongling just able to come online as fast as this Musashi can't. So definitely I would say that the communication in this O2 Esports also be better.
Yeah, if we were to look at some of these highlight moments as well, I would say that the other unsung hero for O2 is White with the land pull. Like, he knows how to position himself, he knows his threshold to also tank the damage, and look at him trying to manage Darkhand in that one highlight moment. So we got to give it to the support as well for him playing his role, making the right decisions across the game.
Yeah, actually, because we can find out that this Limpo also protect their president, I would say that protect the channel, and at the same time also soak in a lot of damage, make this Musashi, or I would say that his teammate have a great surrounding to open up a team fight to let their damage output maximum. So this is a great one actually.
And this is a great one that gave the win towards O2 Esports. And with that, now we are at a tie here, ladies and gentlemen. So great work there by O2 Esports to gain this one win. Not a tie, apologies there. But then again, it's a first win to O2 Esports. Now, one thing about AG Global is that this is not a position that they are foreign. There has been a few times that AG Global, they were put in the position of like, oh, we lose the first game, but they're able to come back. Remember that one against DTE? Maybe that might happen, or maybe O2 Esports will bring us the surprise of the day.
Yeah, because we know that actually we have one code for another region that will just say that the master will not win the first game. Maybe AG Global can prove this could, So for them, they need to seek for, I would say, that different style, or I would say that they need to let their condition back to the pace, because we know that AG Global actually play really well for our week 1 and week 2, and actually they'll also be the top one for a little period in our standings. So they'll need to just seek back the condition right now.
Wow, okay. So you're saying that AG is still the master here. I mean, no doubt, based on paper, I mean, there's a reason why they are up there as one of the best teams around the MKL. But let's see if O2 Esports can actually come up with a big upset here coming into game number 2. O2 Esports taking out the Mai and the Dharma. Arlie is out as well.
Oh, we can find out that Byron also just take away from our this game too. Definitely still have a lot of good picks outside, and we can find out that O2 Esports just pick Pay. It is a sign for AG Global. Because Pay, we always just mention that when I just pick out this Pay, I will like to just end up the game as fast as I can. But at the same time, the Pay best partner Mayan and Zhang Fei just let AG Global take away.
Okay, just putting out some stats here, right? Among all our top pick teams, Pay has a very good win rate of 75%. So O2 Esports, maybe based on that, maybe on their bigger picture strategy, that's why they pick Pay. And now, not only Pay, they have the Dolia welcome back with the regular Dolia combo of the Lone with the Infinite Vastness. Maybe they're going to come with the Elaine later, or maybe even the Yixing as well.
I would say that good to see you, Dolia. I so miss you. Definitely we know that actually Dolia is a popular pick during the week 1, but it's quite I would say that quite least during the Big 2, and right now Dolia is just back and AG Global just respond by using this Jing.
Ooh, okay, power pick there for Yulong, bringing in the Jing. Okay. Now, the Luna is available, but yeah, because they got the pay, so O2 Esports won't go for that. So for AG Global, they know that, okay, you have the Dolia, we're definitely going to take out the Elaine, maybe even the Yixing after this, because it's still open for O2 Esports. But what interested me is that, again, the ban for O2 Esports, the Houyi, I'm not too sure about this. What do you think?
Actually, for me, I'm quite curious that for both of the teams today, we have two teams just ban away this Houyi. But as we know, this Houyi didn't have a really great winning rate, and I would say that it also will not be a strong pick in our MKL. So they'll just ban away, just keep minimize the hero pool of the Marsman, but actually they still have a lot of strong picks outside. We know that like Lady Sun, or I would say that ENG also out in the list. So they'll just take away Houyi and Concert Yu, actually not so popular in our tournament. I'm quite curious on this.
Yeah, I'm curious as well, but it is what it is. I won't be surprised AG Global actually go for Lady Sun because they already have Zhangfei, one of the best bodyguards for the Lady Sun, can play Protect the President. So they might leave that for the last play. They're going to pick up the Yixing first because they want to stop O2 Esports for having the Yixing combo with the Dolia.
Oh, Xiang Yu, just online. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, this Xiang Yu just picked for once. So actually, this also twice already. Twice, okay. So it definitely is a fresh one, but I would say that because we also seek that before, Xiang Yu also can tank it enough, also have a really great damage. So maybe it's a great pick for O2 Esports because until Late Legends, they didn't have enough tank, I would say, during a team fight, but they'll just pick out this Xiang Yu. It definitely will be more balanced, and AG Global just take down Lady Sun. What I say just now, because you have Zhangfei, but you just ban away the Houyi and Concert Yu, and actually Lady Sun is one of the leads of AG Global.
Yeah, and then you have the Yixing that can provide like the front line engagement too, and also try to box in the opponents with the World is Smart board. So Lady Sun, definite, I would say, a obvious pick there for AG Global, which in my opinion could have been banned instead of the Houyi. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Let's see here between these two teams. The Zhang Yu, a very rare pick, only picked twice with a 50% win rate. Let's see where the win rate will swing towards, whether it's towards the higher side or the lower side of 50%. Ladies and gentlemen, O2 Esports versus AG Global. What's your prediction?
Actually, for me, I will say that this will be a long game, although we can find out that have pay appear in our in-game, but we know that both of them have long, have Lady Sun. Maybe, probably both of them will just drag the whole game into a late game.
And here we go. This is going to be the match that is so important for O2 Esports. And O2 Esports, if they are able to get this win against AG Global, it's going to be a huge statement for the teams at the second half of our overall regular season that they can still do it against the top teams.
Yeah, this is what we say. Until right now, it's victory. It's almost half of the journey of our regular season. If right now O2 Esports can seek for the win from AG Global, it definitely will just influence their confidence, make them have more confidence to continue the fight for our rest of the regular season.
So this could be the start of something new, right? So let's see here. So O2 Esports, okay, with this sort of draft, also introducing a hero that is not often used. It's going to be interesting if they can actually catch AG Global. Now, looking over at the laning phase, right? If you look at the farming phase, well, JD should have a good farming lane phase because if you talk about like the Flaming Palm by X1, the one that's able to absorb it is going to be Saber. So that will provide extra support, extra protection towards JD, and he can still be able to have a decent lane in the farming phase.
Yeah, actually we also know that for Lone still needs some time to farm up, because we know that after farming up, maybe Lone still will have a huge damage. So until right now, maybe because of the combinations of Lady Suns and Zhang Fei, definitely there will have a better lane priority comparing with Dolia and Lone. Definitely Dolia will just help a lot during a team fight. But if you want to make some comparisons with Zhang Fei, definitely Zhang Fei will be more sustained and more tanky.
Okay, making the rotation onto the bottom as well. So now O2 Esports, they have 4 players down there. Again, to provide extra protection towards the Lone, because they see that AG Global, they meet their rotation as well, but they're not making a hard commitment yet. So far, O2 Esports keeping a good distance in terms of the goal difference, about 500, close to 1,000 now between themselves and AG Global. Doing so far so good.
Yeah, but I think that for O2 Esports, they can just try for make some harassment, or I would say that just steal some small resources from AG Global, because we know that AG Global having Jing and definitely an assassin jungler. They just need to farm up, and if they're just farming up in a really good situation, wow, we can see that there's 20 pounds on PHY, and PHY just need to recall back to the base.
Yeah, that was a really close one there. They almost got the first blood, but from the back, here comes Yulong, and Yulong will be the one to secure the first blood instead. Taking out care, given this time to AG Global.
This one is the revenge from this Jing. You don't just say that it's you go to make some stress on PHY, and I'm just come in with your care.
Yeah, it was almost O2 Esports getting the first blood, but instead it's AG Global. And with that first blood, now they've closed the gap of that goal to about 100 between the border. In fact, it's so close that it could potentially swing either way. So I'm just looking at the numbers now like a stock market, right? It's like exactly the same now, but AG Global got a bit more now.
Yeah, definitely, because we can find out that right now, I think that O2 Esports just wanted to make this farming phrase just keep speeding out, and we can find out that hiding bushes. No one go to check the bushes, but it's okay because we can find out that right, they are just fine to millions out.
And now it's going to be the Tyrant time. 4th minute, Tyrant is up. Both sides dancing away. AG Global, they do have the advantage because they have 2 smites naturally with the Zhang Fei. So O2 Esports, if they want to go all in, they really must push away the members of AG Global. But AG Global will happily take that Tyrant unchallenged.
Yeah, because we can find out that just now, O2 Esports actually just cleaning the mid wave, and definitely just open up an opportunity for AG Global just take down this Tyrant directly. So I think that for right now, they still need to figure out some strategy to just make some harassment. I would say that giving some stress on this Jing. Don't let this Jing just farming up so easily, because if this Jing just farm up completely, and it will be a great stress for this Long. Although it have the ulti, but this Jing have a crazy damage.
Yeah, and we know that Yulong with the Jing is very dangerous, and that was probably one of the reasons why they banned out the Jing in the first series or the first game. So now that they have let go of the Jing, they still have to find a way to deal with it. And speaking about dealing with it, and the Jing itself, he gets his 2nd kill in the bag.
And care again. But we can find out that Dolphin in a really low HP, just K1 clean this kill.
Yeah, just like that. To meet the rotation, they found an advantage. They get that 1 kill. Looking for the next kill now in the middle, but AG, they took down the tower fairly quickly. And they back off. Didn't overextend their stay. Gongling makes an appearance from the side, trying to take down the red buff. Was being pulled away. Stands around the red buff. Let's see who's going to get this one. Okay, red buff out. And now the fight continues on with the mirror domain activated by the Jing. Yulong is in trouble, and Gongling will make sure that Yulong will no longer be able to dance around.
Oh wow, I would say that this is a good one for Gongling, because just take down this Jing, and Jing just help their team gain a lot of advantage during the early game. So for O2 Esports, I think that this is a turning point for them, and they need to just catch this tightly, and I would say that they just need to hold this tight and let their advantage maximum, and it will be the turn for O2 Esports.
Yeah, they're starting to make very good jungle invasions if you kind of think about it. Like going at the red buff and then switching over to the blue buff. They're starting to just choke out AG Global. Now it's still a 50-50. AG Global, they're clearly fighting back. Yulong got the first 2 kills, but they still need to scale. They still need to hit their power spike before they're able to make a big engagement or an effective engagement against O2 Esports. I'm speaking about engagement now. We're going to see one onto Saber. He has to use the Untitled Outburst to save himself.
Luckily, Saber is jumping because we can find out that just now also in a really low HP, not in a really good conditions, and at the same time, this JD also need to recall back to the base to let their condition become more well prepared when they are faced to O2 Esports. And right now, I think that O2 Esports, they are just keep do some invasion is enough for them because right now they have a small goal lead. But right now,
the best world in my board. Okay, managed to get 3. But then again for AG Global, they were able to get the red buff taken away by Saber. Not the target that they want to give the red buff to, but it's a matter of saving the red buff rather than giving it to the hands of O2 Esports.
I would say that pretty same story for the last team fight. And definitely for O2 Esports, they are just trying to control the resources from AG Global right now because they have the key to access into the jungle. And for AG Global, I think that right now, if they open up a team fight, still is a 50-50 situation. Unless their Jing still online and they just can create some things happen. But right now, I would say that for O2 Esports, they also have enough damage, and right now.
Okay, Mirror Domain deployed there, but not able to secure the kill on K1. Of course, K1 is the tankier hero, so it's not that easy for them to take him down.
Yeah, so for AG Global, they just can. Ooh, Kongling is in danger.
Yeah, Untitled Outburst deployed, and look at the backline. It's going to be Daohan showing himself up. Daohan receives the damage from the Flaming Palm, absorbing it, and finally Daohan will go down to the hands of Kongling. Both sides trading each other. They lost Daohan, but at the same time they got K1 as well, and now Yulong will show up, taking out White. That's going to be a net positive there for AG Global.
Wow, I would say that after this engagement, it will be a 2-1 trade, and for AG, they'll just claim back a lot of things and just take down this Tyrant. For O2 Esports, they need to worry about it already because right now, just like what I mentioned just now, this Jing is one of a main point of AG Global right now. If you didn't take down this Jing during the team fight at the very first, and it will cause a lot of stress to you.
Yeah, but okay, now let's think about like how are they going to lock down the Jing, right? If you think objectively, Lady Sun cannot lock down the Jing. You don't have like a single target CC to just lock in only the Jing and burst him down. Unless maybe the Flaming Palm, if it's able to find the right timing with the right amount of health left, that is their best bet. If not, I don't see a single target CC that's strong enough to lock the Jing.
Yeah, because this still rely on this long and definitely it's quite difficult to happen. But right now we can find out that Daohan just go inside.
Yep, Daohan going in, and with that, you can see a crucial initiate there by Daohan, allowing them to collect that 1 kill. And there's nothing that O2 Esports can do to continue on the fight. Instead, it's going to be AG Global chasing them down. They managed to get K1, but K1 is the tank. He's okay to be caught out. K1, 50% of health left. Look at the damage by JD. So much damage onto the tank, K1.
Wow, actually we can find out that this Xiangyu is tanky enough to play against with AG Global, but unfortunately right now AG Global have the advantage and they're just taken by the next Tyrant, the timing is Dragon, and after that I think that all the things will change.
Yeah, it's starting to swing heavily towards AG Global. You can't think about it, but there is still a chance for O2 Esports to make this comeback here. 3K goal difference, still pretty close. but they cannot afford to lose their next fight. They lose their next fight, AG Global will continue to scale, and of course, the one that's scary is going to be Jing. Jing is the one that's able to deal that damage. Yulong takes that damage, K1 onto him from the back, allowing them to finally take down Yulong, and now without the Jing for the next 30 seconds, this is a chance for O2 Esports to push down the middle.
Yeah, definitely. I think that because of the absence of Jing, and right now we can find out that Kongling just taken down by JD.
Oh, but here comes K1 as well with the flash forward there to make that engagement. K1 gets JD, they get downhead as well. Double kill to O2. Looking for the next kill. Probably going to be Saber next, but Saber is still tanking it up. PHY will be the next target, will be the next aim. But no, they let PHY go because the main focus right now is to take down the mid tower.
Wow, we can find out that after this one, the things changed again and again. Oh, they are just seek for some opportunity to make some pressure on K1, but however, K1 is so tanky right now.
Yeah, and Yulong reappears with the mirror domain, but he's not able to get a kill. Now, PHY tries to defend his tower, but unfortunately to no avail. The tower will still go down to the hands of X1 with a flaming palm.
Yeah, actually we can find out that right now X1 just farming up in a really good situations, have a really huge damage right now for the farming palm, and definitely this is a great stress for AG Global right now. Yeah, we know that right now I have a lot of damage. I have Jing, I have Mayan, I have Lady Suns, but the only problem for AG Global right now is this Zhang Yu. Too tanky and just keep standing at the front liner as of all of the things. When all the skills that AG Global use, all the ulti, use all the skills, use all the damage, but all the things just on this K1. And K1 just say that, oh, I still okay. So definitely it's a great stress for AG Global.
Yeah, and he's really tanky right now. That's why he's A-OK. He's not only K1, he's OK1 at this point. Will is my bot deployed? Right inside of it. But for AG, they're not going in because the other members of O2 Esports behind him to protect him. O2 Esports playing this objectively, taking down the top tower. Now looking at the bottom tower. Next is their target.
Wow, definitely I would say that this is the chance for O2 Esports, and right now also have a great goal lead. I would say that around 2.1 to 2k right now for them, but they will need to seek for more opportunity to open up a great team fight right now.
A brighter outburst by Saber, but Saber is pretty far away. Saber is still able to get away back to safety. Saber absorbing a lot of damage. Now he has to heal up, so he will be out of the fight for a while now. And at the same time, we can see that they tried to get in, but look at the damage of the PHY with the flaming palm. Lucky enough with the fact that he's still alive somehow. Next wave incoming here, and O2 Esports waiting for it before they take down the tower.
Still continue for the engagement, but right now I think that O2 Esports need to retreat back. Actually, we can find out that AG Global just make a really good disengagement by using the ulti from Yixing. Just now Yixing just able to catch 5 members of all O2 Esports. So definitely this is a great point for AG Global for this Yixing. So right now they just need to try to push out their visions. I would say that, yeah, we can find out that O2 Esports has a great goal lead, but what I wanted to highlight is the goal difference between both of the jungler. Quite similar, quite same right now, just quite balanced. So maybe what they need is one team fight, one big engagement right now.
Oh yeah, they are keeping pace. That's a really good point, even though they've been pushed back into their own base now. Speaking about pushing back, the tower will go down. All 3 towers are down. Now it's open for O2 Esports to go in. It's a matter of who will make that great play. At the same time, we can see that World is my being deployed, but look at Yulong at behind with the mirror domain. They try to fight back, but O2 Esports, they're taking care of business at the front side. Yulong trying to clear off the minion waves, but the next minion wave is going to come. K1 gets Yulong. This is going to be O2 Esports with a huge upset against AG Global.
Oh my god, this is the miracle that we seek for it, and what we wanted to looking for it in, because we know that AG Global just act like a titan, but right now O2 Esports in a risky place, but they are able to overcome the stress and take down the matchup in a 2-2-0. They are just proof that no, today you will be the O and I'm be the 2.
Yes. Who is the O? Who is the 2 now? I am the 2, they say. I am the 2, you're the O. Oh man, that is a really good point. Okay, oh man, I wish that we could just replay that video right now because it would be just so hilarious.
Yeah, and definitely we know that for the whole days we have the 2-0 games, but we have the 2-0 that in our expectation, but this one honestly is out of the box, out of my expectation. I didn't think that, okay, maybe I think that it will be a 2-0 game, but I never think that the 2 will go to 0-2. But this is what we say that this is I would say that the starting point for esports. You never know who will win until the very end.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. You will never win. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, you have to always stay tuned to the end, okay? Oh man, this is amazing. Okay, looking over at some of the stats here. So I would say that the best contribution here is K1. I mean, the level of a tank that he has done in this round, I believe we will look at the numbers later on, but I'm pretty sure that he is the biggest tank in this round. That allowed them to open up the fight with AG Global.
Yeah, definitely, because if we see the stage, we see the KDA, maybe we just find out that, wow, X1 just played really well. Yeah, honestly, X1 also performed so well during the team fight, giving a lot of damage deck out. But I also wanted to highlight this K1. It's able to stand at the front line and just absorb all of the damage from this Jing, from this Mayans, from the JD. I absorb all, and especially from this Yixing. But I able to stay alive and give my teammate have a really, really good surrounding to having some damage dealt out, or say that I'll put all the damage and win the whole team fight.
Yeah, and to point out the Jing pick right by Yulong, looking at the damage output, and he got 4 kills. I guess his role is like more of the finisher, which is normally what an assassin type of hero would play. That's okay. But general damage output only 50k, so it's not up there. But yeah, I guess it's kind of fair, like to say that okay, we have 50k is okay because he's like the finisher, because you have like the PHY, you have like JD to come up with the damage. But where is the fault here? Yeah, I think it's, yes, as highly as we talk about Yulong's Jing, we still didn't get to see the best of his Jing here. Like the outplays or like the Tyrant steals, for example, he was not able to pull those off.
Yeah, actually, because we just go through the gold draft for around like 11 minutes, actually, the whole situation just side to AG Global. But actually, O2 Esports just seek for some opportunity to fight back. I would say that this game is really, really amazing, because some of the time when you come inside, you will find out that, oh, O2 Esports have the lead. And some of the time, you'll find out that AG Global have more advantage. But at last, O2 Esports just able to take the opportunities, to catch the opportunity to take down the whole game. So I would say that it is a good one for both of the team, and especially I also want to pay a credit on this Yixing. Definitely make a really, really good disengagement. However, for this game, O2 Esports just act like a dominator.
Yeah, and checking out who's going to be the MVP, right? I believe it's going to be K1, the main tank for O2 Esports, with a KDA of 216 and the damage output of 22%. Damage taken, of course, no doubt the highest. The main tank for the team, 34%, and a total goal of 21%. His pick with the Xiang Yu was so crucial in this round. Not the most popular hero, but very, very effective for K1.
Yeah, definitely will be a great idea for another teams to choose for this Xiang Yu, because we know that you see right now only 1 kills but have a 34% damage taken. Definitely I tanky enough, I can stand in a really, really long period until the whole team fight. I would say that the whole team fight finish. So for this Xiang Yu pick, I think that it is great one, and at the same time I also want to highlight this I would say that the performance in this in-game, because we know that it is tanky enough, it is damage enough, but you need to have a really, really accurate positions. You still will claim this kind of stage. if you didn't have a great position, you will not have this kind of advantage.
Yeah, totally agree, right? Like his positioning was definitely on point there. As we check out the highlights from this round, I just want to pay a little bit more attention to K1's position, right? Like he's always at this position in front or even making flanky plays from the side because he knows that he can do that. And with that, he's able to catch like the members of AG Global, surprise them, and allowing his other teammates to like either escape or either to re-engage. He's always at that right position at the right timing, even towards the end.
Yeah, actually, I would say that AG Global also have some advantage. I would say that they also gain something in this game, but unfortunately, because we know that the turning point you need to cash and you lose it, it definitely will just goes to another side, and we can just go through our standing right now. And our first one still is Nova Esports for today, and the second one will goes to BSE, third will be AG Global, and following by Team Secret and O2 Esports. Just fly over the whole of the teams from the bottom side. And right now, the fifth one is O2 Esports, sixth one will be DT Gaming, and 7 Toda, 8th one will be Seoul Esports.
Yeah, this is the highest that O2 Esports has been in the overall standings right now. Number 5 overtaking DTE Gaming. DTE Gaming pushed down to number 6, but whether it's number 5, whether it's number 6, is still at the safe zone, the safe spot, as long as you're not at number 7 or number 8. So for both Toda and Seoul Esports, they still need to get out of the bottom. Now, there's still a lot more games to come throughout the season, but you don't want to leave it towards the end. You really want to show this kind of performance like O2 Esports did to be able to come up. And I think looking over at O2 Esports and their performance in this round, this is an inspiration to all the teams who qualified from the Open Series or at least at the second half of the page to be able to rise up. And speaking about the teams who might be able to rise up here, we have a couple of them, including Seoul Esports and O2 Esports as the first match tomorrow, followed by DTE versus Team Secret, and then we'll have Toda versus Nova.
Yeah, actually, I'm so looking forward for tomorrow mashup because we know that maybe most of them is one of the team from the bottom standing. But actually, after today mashup, I trust that everyone will just so looking forward that the revenge from the bottom teams. I will say that they will just reset the whole things for today.
Yeah, I think tomorrow will be pretty exciting as well to see even the matches of the teams on page 2 fighting the teams on page 1, because today O2 Esports is an inspiration to those teams to hey, if they can do it, I can too. So who knows, maybe Toda can pull off a surprise tomorrow.
Yeah, this is just like what I mentioned in the in-game. Never try, never know. So maybe you have to try and you just pick another strategy and make yourself being the miracle, or obviously the same as O2 Esports, just able to turn over the table and prove that I also have the potential, I also have the ability to take down the matchup. It will be a great confidence for O2 Esports and another team from the bottom of the standing.
Yeah, I love it. I love this sort of narrative, okay? It's not cliche. It's not like, oh, this team versus this team, or this team confirm will win one. No, it's not that way anymore. Now that we're heading on to the middle of our regular season, we're starting to see teams adapt to each other and also being able to find ways to overcome some of these top teams. So it's great to see this sort of improvement by all these teams. So for the top teams as well, they cannot be comfortable.
Yeah, so you also need to be cautious and you also need to be careful. Although you are in the top of the standing, but actually because of this kind of amazing matchup, and I also really thank you that all of the audience just come with us until the very, very last. So stay tuned for our tomorrow matchup, and we will meet up with each other tomorrow. Bye bye.
Ever changing some chameleon, blood, sweat, and tears. We'll never make it if we fall to everything that brings us down. If the comeback is now, blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what we want, 'cause it matters.
honor showtime. It's an honor showtime. It's an honor showtime.